Welcome again to Maze Arcana, and to this noir approach through Eberron. If you're new to Maze Arcana content, or you're new to Eberron, feel free to check out some of the past videos. I did a deep dive. I think it was about an hour long, but it gives you a pretty good primer on what you can expect, and why the economy is vastly different, and what other extra races just seem to hang out in Eberron that you don't find in normal settings, as if D&D were normal in any sense of the word. Number one, this is kind of like our little home rules section. Number one, the thing you need to know is these peeps here, they're level 0. What does that mean? Well, it means they have next to no hit points. It means they have no class, but that's evident by looking at them. And it also means that they really need to think through whether or not talking back to people is going to be a good idea or not. When they came to this game, they were only allowed to come with their flaws, their vices, and their worst experiences. And then we let them pick races after that. Think about it in terms of a redemption story or death. And because Eberron is such a low, wide magic setting, resurrection isn't something that really happens every day, or even every year, or maybe ever. And the people that do those fun little things are definitely going to require a very large sum of money or favor. Neither of those things these people have. Beyond that, let's go ahead and get into our little game here right after some announcements.
Yay!
From our talented Warforged.
Yes. We have some appearances from our very own DM Rudy and our very favorite elf, sorry Kyle, coming up this summer. So Rudy and Satine are going to be doing this really cool thing called D&D in a Castle. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's going to be in France in July. And unfortunately that's sold out, but fear not, because they are going to be doing some appearances in Europe. And be sure to follow us on all the things so you can get more information on where they'll be. And so we're gonna do some meetups, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so make sure you're following and stay tuned for more info on that. And hopefully you'll get a chance to do something really cool and interactive with us. That would be great. We have Origins Game Fair. That's going to be in the Greater Columbus Convention Center in Ohio. And Rudy and Satine will also be there from June 13th through the 17th. And this year they're co-sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. And the theme for this year is mystery. So look for that, June 13th through the 17th. You can check out originsgamefair.com for more info. And for a more weekly thing, we've got Kai's podcast, Ryan Omega and Cynthia Marie, called Life Action Roleplay. So every other week, they've got that podcast going. They've got special guests. Rudy and Satine have been on that. You can find them on iTunes and on Podbean, Life Action Roleplay. Anyone else got some?
I was on Dragon Talk this week. The link is up on the official D&D Twitch. Yep.
We are on iTunes.
We are on iTunes.
We are on iTunes.
How could I forget that?
It's true.
We are on iTunes, guys.
Yeah. In season 2 of Sirens of the Realm, which is still relevant to us as part of our clan, started yesterday.
Season 2.
Yeah, I forgot.
I know. You're like, what? Why am I bringing up old stuff, right? You're like, huh? That's so yesterday. Yes.
And for being on iTunes, it's the podcast of last week's episode.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Episode 1 of Inkwell Society is on iTunes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
For those of you that like listening, although I don't know why you would like to deny yourself looking at this. He can't blush via audio, folks. There it is. So it begins.
It's almost instant.
Every time he blushes. Every time Kai blushes.
He's so red.
Every time Kai blushes, you guys have to chug.
Outside of that, let's say we've got a little bit of a recap that I'm going to do, and this is more of just like a little name game word thing. We met Zaylin, a Warforged with a skin problem.
Skin opportunity.
Skin condition.
Condition. We met Harmatio, the gardener. Rose, the rose. Make sense now? Okay, tracking.
It's very witty, my friend. Yes.
met Felix, the dragon marked question mark. We have this trash can dwelling shifter. Does anybody remember his name?
Grit.
Nice.
It was told
Grit.
as Grit.
I believe
Absolutely
it is.
great.
Grizz. Like Drizz. We're actually just you're gonna take the apostrophe T on the back of that now.
Grit.
Yeah, and we have Lossian, the lost.
He's right
I
there.
don't
just
understand
like-
this. He is right in front of us. He's not lost.
Unless we are lost too, but that is something.
That's
perhaps
likely.
that is
That's
the
an
greater narrative arc, is that we are all lost. I understand now. Yes.
So the story begins.
As long as it doesn't end in a dream.
So, to recap what happened last week, we met all of these wonderful people and the club that they are all loosely affiliated with in some way, called the Old Dominion Lounge. We witnessed the death of a kenku, and then we met a little gnome. We met an interesting coffee vendor, or I guess an unremarkably uninteresting coffee vendor. Well, we went to a morgue, the one that a certain coroner works at. We're turned away and spent the rest of the evening heading towards the Wicket Lawn apartment building.
I believe you have overlooked a very important part of the recap.
Very
Did I,
important
sir?
part.
Robert.
Robert.
I was
My
going to say
dress.
the kid's beating everybody up, but
We'd like to,
I told you not to do that.
That is an unsubstantiated rumor.
oh, okay.
I don't remember that part.
Lies and
There
half
there was definitely
Lies.
glass.
Because your head hit the
Didn't happen.
ground so often.
slander.
That is no propaganda.
And with that, let's roll the intro. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that intro as much as we did. I hope I don't have to cut it at all if somebody doesn't make it.
Okay. Aw,
somebody dies.
jeez. Jeez. I get it. That's a threat.
Leave it up in our memory.
I don't know if I would call it a threat, just so much as a reminder of the wonderful things we've all signed up for here.
Like baby shanks in the livers.
Hey, we are still alive.
So, as you all retire to, well, I suppose as the morning sun kind of finds its way down into the depths of Sharn, where you are all residents, You were in your apartments in the Wicket Lawn apartment building. You had returned, Zaylin had returned with Harmatio and Rose to their apartment, as you had spent the majority of whatever time you had had so far in Sharn, apparently just standing in the streets at night.
Like a stray cat.
That's
Feed
one
me
thing to
once
call
and
it.
I never leave.
And okay, good. And Lucien, you had also returned. Actually, all of you guys just basically walked back and realized that you had all lived in the same apartment building for God knows how long, and had not really ever run into each other before.
How could they not have noticed this?
It's a very odd coincidence.
So one of the things that you were tasked with doing over the week was telling me about your apartment building. I would like to start with Lucien. Would you describe the interior of your apartment, please?
It's stacked with papers pretty much everywhere on top of every flat surface, the shelves, including the bed, which has like a small area for a body to recline. There's some jars and bits and pieces of things that may peek out from here or there with little fluid and things floating in it. But the stacks are organized somewhat. You see like the medical stuff, talking about anatomy and things in one place, and some herbology stuff over here on these stacks, and then there's some other little drawings stuck up on the walls of various parts of people. And there's a very small sink next to a small stove that provides the heat across from where the one lone window is causing the fading wallpaper to actually fade some more. And there's a small wardrobe with a chair on it near the door that gets the coat that drips the water from all the steam and the rain, and everything else is fairly clean. Not too much dust to be seen.
Other than the entire mess.
It's not a mess,
It's
it's just
in place
stacks. Stacks and stacks. They're organized neatly in piles.
All right.
Mortician Hoarder, you chose correctly to come with us.
Let's move to Felix.
So his apartment is a lot more cramped. No less than about 5 workbenches, all strewn over the place. Sprockets, leather, tools, lots of kind of raw materials all over the place. One of those desks, however, is very, very clean and organized. Kind of almost like a shrine, with wigs, bundles of horsehair, blank playing cards, a tackle box with a whole bunch of different pieces and tools in there. Above those desktops, along the kind of eggshell white stained plaster walls, would be orange and black and red kind of shelves centered on the back of the room. But the bed itself is small, very, very, very nice looking sheets, though, even though the mattress might be kind of past its age. Above the bed is a canvas matted in black, wisps of various reds, oranges, and yellows pinwheel out from its center and connect to the shelves, giving them a kind of unified, decorative look all over the place. The most interesting thing in the room, I think, is there's a number of these different vintages of and different sizes of wine bottles. All of them probably quite expensive, but all now very, very empty, almost sitting like trophies. During the day, they cast through that window and kind of color the whole room in a mosaic of colors, giving things a much nicer kind of color to the drab, dirty walls normally.
I want to do that in my house.
So what I'm seeing is a bunch of work desks
Yep.
with different, like one's a leather work desk, one's like tinkering, and the other one's, I don't know, documents or something. And then you seem to have another desk that's almost like a vanity in a
Yes.
way, with the tackle box with the arms that are open and has all these little disguise
Yes.
things.
Very much so.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. And then you said that there were shelves that went around, and they are different colors. What were the colors?
Black, orange, and red.
So okay, so just like different shades of that, and those all lead to a painting above your mattress.
Yes.
And they all like intersect. And wow.
That's so cute.
And the glass bottles create like this aurora borealis of light across your. Does it do anything in the neon light of night?
Yeah, especially the signs and things kind of shine through and really illuminate everything and make it look especially bougie for him.
So you get like an entirely different color palette during the day. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Club Felix.
Club Felix. All right. Well, let's go over to Rose.
Okay. So I wake up, my eyes are closed, but the light from the window in front of my bed, it tickles my eyes, and I think, oh, I'm in there, and then I open my eyes, and then instead I'm in the slums again, and but I've got lots of pillows, so I stretch out. I know I'm only trancing, but it's nice to just lay down in all my covers, and also the pillows, and then I've got fabric. It's not the actual painting, but it's very much like what I would have in my bedroom if I was still in on there. So I like to imagine that it's an actual painting. And then next to my bed, I've got a vase of flowers, and I make the flowers with the papers, and they're nice, and I make them every week, and I put them in here. But it's my room, and I'm the only one in my room, and there's one window, and I like it. But one wall is a door, but it's not actually a door, it's a fabric. And then it's a big curtain, and I painted on it to make it look nice. And then I open it, and then there's this guy, and he's on the poo-poo couch with the recliner. It's got his own little, it's like almost too small for him, and it's dirty, but it's the best I could do. But there he is, and he's sleeping. And I made him a throw. I made it myself. And I would have found fabric objects that I knitted here you go. No, here you go.
Oh.
It is not as nice as that. Oh, and he is there.
Lovely.
But the Warforged is looking at him all weird, but I don't even care. I go to the kitchen area, and there I make my bread, and I pretend to put jam on it and butter every day, because that is what I normally do on there. So I take that to my little too tiny dining area. And it's got 2 chairs, and there is a rose that I made last week, and also there is a coat rack that it's used, but what can you do? Robert helped me with it, and there's also other fabrics on the walls. And then I sit in my chair and I eat my toasts. That's my room. That's our apartment.
Okay. I almost feel like I don't need to ask any, like, Hamasio or Zaylan what they see in the apartment after that, but I'm curious how their perception of it differs after hearing that.
They don't have the delusion, so
In the morning,
it's really different.
Harmatio sits in his chair thinking, and occasionally sleep takes him when he does not wish it to, but most every morning I pretend to sleep so that she can move around the house undisturbed while I observe quietly. My chair has a view of the entire apartment where I clutch this beautiful throw that she's made for me, but I am 6 paces from the door, 3 paces from the window, 3 paces from her bed, and the window is 2 paces on the other side. I have removed particularly squeaky What is this word for the things on the floor with the?
It's a rugs.
No, under the wood.
There's many.
What
Oh,
is
there's
the-
many rugs.
Under that, I put the particularly squeaky boards. That is the word. Boards by the door, so when the people come in, they make the sound, and I know that they have come for us. So, most of my time in this place, I do what I can to make it as comfortable as possible for her. I am more concerned with the safety of the place, and I spend all my time in my chair with furrowed brow, thinking of what our next move should be.
It's true.
And what does that mean to you, Zaylin?
I'm just very trying to nonchalantly just touch everything and hope that nobody notices how creepy that might look. Like all the curtains and the fabric and all the pillows, and I notice her fake doing things, and I'm very puzzled by it. I'm also very puzzled why such a large human has such a small sleeping space while she has this large, luxurious, and it doesn't quite, I'm trying to wrap around it.
Yeah, I mean, you just tell me what you see in the area, because I would much rather you ask them these silly
okay.
questions than narrate that to me.
I just see lots of flowy fabrics and colors and things that I don't. It's very overwhelming because I'm just used to streets and rain and darkness and corners and for once I see like kind of the other side of how people live and comfort, which I'm also comfort. But I mean, which to me is different than if I'm standing in the street. Usually it's a very different way of living.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you're all we got left here.
So,
What's your pitiful existence like?
my apartment, it's like eggshell walls, a lot cleaner than you would expect it to be. Not by any means, it's not like super tidy or anything, but very basic, very minimal. There's like a table, a chair, and like a futon type mat in the corner. But there's just fist holes and claw marks on all the walls. Everything in the apartment is broken and like shoddily repaired. Like all of the forks and utensils, they're all like bent and weird, and like just everything is broken and repaired. And then on the chair there is a shoddy, weird doll that's sewn together, and it has the word "punchy" on his chest. And Grizz wakes up and he sits down in the chair.
Well, I met a lot of rotten nutters last night, Mr. Punchy. Hopefully I can get some coin, because we really need it. I don't know if you've looked at the state of this place, but I think that you're the only true friend that I've ever had.
So let me get this straight. You are in a crappy apartment with holes from, I'm assuming, your fists, and claw marks arcing from like one hole to the next.
Yeah.
Besides that, it's clean?
I mean, it's not like clean, but it's not like there's not like garbage and gross things.
But all your furniture's broken.
Yes, everything.
And then repaired with like
Like extra pieces of wood that just make no
Angrily
sense.
repaired.
Yeah, like the chair leg is like kicked out at a weird angle, but it's still together.
It is
You can
a-
sit on it, but it's still wobbly.
It is
Okay.
cluttered, but not dirty.
Yeah.
And then you have a what does Punchy look like?
Just this like ugly, cute doll
Hashtag
that's like
punchy.
crudely sewn together.
So like a halfling?
About that size. Yeah.
You got a halfling. Oh no, my friend. Oh no.
Sorry, halfling doll. I'm
And
doing this.
and you stitched its name in it?
Well, one could assume.
Oh, I thought you said that.
Yeah. It just says punchy. It just says punchy on the chest.
Oh, okay.
Now I
And
look
then
like
after he's having his morning conversation with Punchy,
Is that like coffee for him?
yep,
Oh.
he realizes that his coin purse was stolen. He rips Punchy in half and rages for about 10 minutes, breaks more stuff, and then finally calms down. And it gets back to work at repairing everything I just broke, including Punchy.
Okay. All right. I think I have an idea of where I'm going to start now.
Oh, Lord.
I do have one question. Is he far enough away from us in the building that we do not hear the yelling, the punching, and the...
Or is he the yelling and the punching?
Hamasia, you hear hello? You seen anybody up yet?
Ah, this Robert creature. Why do you...
Hello?
I get it.
I continue preparing to do so.
Oh!
She screamed too loud. Come on.
What?
Yes.
What are you talking
It's
about?
early in the morning.
No, I mean, I
Come
suppose.
inside. Get out of the dirty hallway.
Oh, yes, okay. He walks in and he like pulls out the package.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I
I
put
see
it
you've
away.
done new things to the apartment. You have the what is in that thing in the corner?
Hello.
That is a Warforged.
E-
Yeah, she's nice.
My name's Zaylin, by the way.
Oh, hi, Zaylin.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I'm Robert.
Nice.
And go ahead.
Nice to meet you, Robert.
So what you see in front of you is somebody roughly around like 5'10", 5'11". So you do kind of like you're about eye to eye with him because of you're one of the envoy models. So you're a little smaller than the big ones. You're smaller than Latch.
Yes.
But you're about eye to eye with this guy, and he has this like almost V-shaped frame, but it's like a very narrow V, which is accentuated by this costume, I guess, is the closest thing that you're gonna really call it. Basically, he's wearing like these this V-shaped sequin tunic.
It's not a costume, it's his style.
Okay. And it's got sequins running all the way down towards his navel, and like a well-manicured, almost flame of chest hair that runs up from the bottom of the V. He has these tight royal blue leggings on, and the whole thing kind of like comes up to these shoulder pads that you would never mistake for armor, although some of the less militaristic types might. And there's this silvery gold kind of ivy vinage that is patterned in this netting coil that wraps all the way around the outfit and shrieks between the sequins, like almost like kind of coiled up, and then it zips over to another set of sequins, and then does like this little, I wouldn't call it a floral pattern in any way, but it's just kind of like, we'll call it flare, just for lack of a better word. So, and then that does sound quite dazzling, but you can kind of tell that this outfit is probably a number of years old, and the once vibrant colors have a little bit of a faded austere to them. He also has a very prominent nose, a nice square chin, and rhinestone blue eyes. Oh, and let me hold on. Where's his hair? He has.
Hopefully it's on his head.
You can see that he is wearing his naturally curly short hair today.
What color is it?
Brown.
Does the chest hair match the drapes?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Does the cartridge match the drapes, is what you're asking. Yes, okay.
And he
throw rug.
kind of has
Throw
this. Yeah. It's manscaping, man. And he kind of has this. His skin. It's almost like a mocha color. Maybe like a mocha latte, which is obviously his favorite So what was it? You said Zaylin?
Yeah, my name's Zaylin.
Oh, here. No, take it, thank you. She's the help, right?
No, she is her own person.
Well, of course.
She's helping with an investigation or something. Armatio, what are we doing?
I'm pretending to sleep still.
He's sleeping. That's why you can't talk loud.
Yes, don't wake him. Don't wake him.
Well, see, my new friend, she is in a transition phase.
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
But
that is
I
so
was
good.
thinking,
Does
I
this
like-
side look pretty?
Yes.
I was thinking, perhaps, now that you are here, and I was thinking maybe you should meet him anyway, perhaps you could teach her about, the makeups.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm not a good teacher.
Bro.
You're so
No.
beautiful.
Bro.
You're better.
But
You know you're
good.
better.
Well, of course I'm bit. But that's not the case here in the moment, because this is your house, and we don't upstage our friends in their own houses. You
That
would
is-
never do it in mine, right?
That's right.
Okay, so why would I come here and do it to you?
Anyways, what is going on?
I brought you your dress.
Thank you.
Yes, you see, I did not sell it to anyone.
But I was. That is true.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I can trust you.
Well, of course you do. I've never sold your dress. It's still the same dress. Plus, how would I hunt down that ratty thing if I ever did sell it?
Actually, I do. I wake up and I like unroll the dress to make sure it's the same dress. Like while he's talking, like I don't even acknowledge him in any way. I just like take it out. And,
Okay, so while he's saying this thing
Yes,
and you're
while-
not acknowledging
Yeah,
him,
no, not
he
at
walks
all.
over and leans against you. Just like kind of nuzzles in and he goes, "Oh yes, I have not seen you in some time, Homasio. Why is that?
Good day, Robert.
Oh, the way you do, why you good daying me?
My friend.
Thank you. You're so nice to everybody else. I don't know why you gotta be so weird. To
I
me.
do put my hand on his shoulder and I say, I too have a need for Robert.
Yes, everybody needs some Robert.
I didn't knew
I have a
Can I
need.
just say, as this is going on, I'm kind of doing his hand motions, and just really just that's what I'm paying attention to.
I have a question
Oh, for Robert?
for Robert.
Oh.
Um,
Okay, go ahead. Give me.
Last night, did you notice anything unusual at Old Dominion? Perhaps an accident of some sort?
A bird.
So,
A big
so
bird.
wait. So this is what you're asking, Robert?
Yeah. Because you see everything.
Robert knows all this is known.
It's true.
I just thought you had a better question for me.
What would Robert prefer, I ask?
If I wanted to go get coffee or something.
Coffee? Sure. All of us, coffee.
He started. Oh.
Yes,
Oh.
all of us.
No, you should just go. And also, what happened last night
With what?
with the bird person?
I don't know.
The
I was
other- oh, the-
busy.
No, you.
Yes,
see
I was
everything.
putting feathers
You
in
have
there.
eyes in the back of your head.
Or perhaps you heard or talk. Everyone talks to Robert.
But who cares about them?
We do.
Oh.
Come
You
on,
know-
it's exciting. There's a bird, a big black
Yes,
bird.
he fell. He go down. He go. Pfft,
Yeah, when-
whatever.
Well, you saw that one.
Yes, I saw it. I just told you what happened. That's everything.
He just fell like nothing. They're just like
They're birds.
they fly. They
Birds
don't
do
fall.
not, birds do
So
not
much.
fall, my friend. They
Who
fly
did-
to the sky.
These don't fly.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Kenku, thank
He
you. I
doesn't
tried
know.
to tell you. What is? You act like you
Oh.
want to listen to Robert, but nobody actually
I thought he
listens.
knows everything. He doesn't know everything.
I would like to actually listen to Robert.
You should go get coffee with him.
After yes, the coffee. Perhaps tonight during Rose's set, you and we will have the coffee. But for now, was there anything else you heard that is delightful? What is this? I do not have this. Where I come from, and on there, we do not do this. with
What?
the-
I'm
with
just
the
curling
hair.
my
I
curly
think he's
hair.
flirting with you.
I did not notice this. But did anyone else see this bird fall?
I think Cad might have. I don't know because like I tried to say earlier, Rose, I was putting feathers in the headdresses of the lounge girls.
Were they kenku
outfits
feathers?
for tonight. What?
Were they
The
his?
kenku feathers?
No.
He has lots of feathers.
Yes.
He's like a collector. That's why we got all these nice fabrics.
Yes, and I see what you did. I like this other whatever that is over there, Rose. It's very
thank
nice.
you.
Yeah, so continuing on, I believe that Teason wanted to ask you to come by because he had question for you or something for you to do, and he said bring whomever you needed.
Yeah, he's nice. I like him. He's cute.
A good friend, yes.
You think Teason is cute?
Yes.
She has unusual taste, my friend.
He's a bit rotund, and he's married. Bro,
I could just say he's cute.
I think it's scandalous.
Okay, let's go. I'm tired of being here.
Okay, and so the interruption of that comes from hearing this scream from directly above you, and these stomps back and forth, and then the dust comes, like, starts to sprinkle down from the ceiling as you hear these things, and there's just raging going on up top. And then it just stops. And you just hear a punchy.
I grab the nearest fabric. I'm like, not again. He's always up there. I don't know who that is. He's always up there and it makes it dusty. I hate it.
But now it makes sense what has been going on over our heads all this time. It's probably our hairy friend with the anger issues. Robert, have you seen this man? He's got the hair like you.
Robert's huddling underneath her garment that she's holding up.
He has the hair, but less effort has been exerted. Perhaps you could help him. I believe he has ample landscape for you to cultivate.
Robert helps everyone.
Robert is a genius
You
and
would
an
have a lot
artist.
to work with.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for your help, Robert.
No.
One other. Who did you mention? Perhaps
Look,
saw this
I
people?
do not look. You do not get a gardener to come and do your lawn just by telling me he has a nice bush, okay? I have self-respect.
I thought that was exactly how things were done in Sharon, but perhaps I was mistaken. Yes. You tell me, how can we properly thank Robert? You're always helping. You're preparing the dresses. You are giving.
Well, I don't need
information.
nothing from you. It's so
Yes.
good. It's fine.
Yes.
Coffee. Just get hot coffee.
Coffee.
With him. He just wants to
Let us
hang
know
out.
if you.
Yes.
You,
I get
please.
to spend so little time with other men. It's terrible. I mean, it's wonderful, but it's terrible. Just the gruff ones around at the club, and they're no fun.
It's true.
It's true.
Barbarians, yes.
No, just
I got to
they
go to work.
fart and they stank, and sometimes they burp when they don't do it the cute way. You know, at least when I burp, I'm all like, ooh.
I'm going to go check on our friend upstairs. Please continue.
I get to go to work soon, so we have to figure
Well,
out.
yeah, I brought you your dress. You guys aren't due until the sun goes down, but I know that Teason is there at the club now because he needed help with the thing, and he was up all last night, and he looks terrible.
Okay, so we'll go over there.
usual, Ross?
Well, that's why we have to go talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go talk to him.
Can I go with you?
You should. You are very strong.
So we did have an
now-
understanding that we would include the others in whatever we did next. We should at least inform
We
them.
didn't ask them. We didn't ask them where they live. When are we supposed to meet up? with them?
Well, clearly, I think we know that one of them is upstairs.
Maybe he
The building
remembers.
is only so large.
We go
can find
knocking on every door.
them. I think we can follow the smell to the odd elf. I think we already know where we will locate him by process of elimination. I'm sure we will find Felix. It will not be difficult. I can locate him. I can locate any man alive.
Oh, good. Then I will put my dress on, and when you get back, then everyone else will be here.
It is done.
Good.
Robert.
Tell them I'm bored and I'm going.
He is bored and he's going.
That is a very excellent Robert.
And
I'm
he's gone.
very impressed.
But before she even gets that, like, turns around to tell you that he's gone.
Oh, good.
And then, like, in the doorway, he's, like, actually just peeking around to see, like, what's going on, and you catch his eye, and he goes, "That's how you exit. It's called a flare." And then he just struts off down the hallway.
I'm so sad I missed this.
You're going to have coffee with him. I would not worry. It's fine. Yes.
Okay, you guys go, okay?
Yes.
I'm going to put my dress on.
I actually.
20 minutes.
even though I hear Grizz freaking out, that just means I can confirm that he's home. So I do see if I can figure out which one of these is probably Felix's place. Because I was serious about believing I can follow like a trail of scents or fluids to figure out where he lives. I want to see if I can figure out where he lives.
So, as you make your way down the hallway, I mean, tell me about how you're going about finding something.
Roughly how many units are in this place?
I'd say somewhere around like between 6 and 9 stories worth.
Oh, it's a very large building.
Yeah.
Is there any
You're
sort
not
of
in like Florida or anything.
right? Oh, okay. Is there any like sort of placard with names or anything like at the front, like
Like a
modern
mailbox?
buildings have? You know, nothing like that.
Just the lower part of the tower.
I will actually then definitely go to his place first because maybe he knows where Felix lives. I don't know what their background is.
Okay.
So yes.
So you walk, you like check the number on your door. You walk over to the staircase. You go up. You pace it back out, and you come to a door where the eye hole, the little peephole, has actually been poked through, and like actually you can see that the door had a fist through it and was boarded up from the inside.
So currently, is where the peephole was poked
Board.
through? Is there an actual hole still?
Board.
Board on the other side of it?
At best, like there might be a small sliver of like some cockeyed looking crack that he can poke his eye through, but you'd be able to as well.
I stand to the side of the door in case he punches through it again, and I say, "This is excellent carpentry on the door, my friend. It is very secure. I see what you've done here. It is very nice."
I'm sorry. Ain't nobody ever knock on my door. So if I'm not mistaken, I must be talking to no one.
I am known by many things. You can call me no one if that is what you prefer.
What does this no one want?
I realized you were having a hard evening last night, but we had an understanding that we would do some work. I would call you when I knew something. I know something. I heard the stomping and the bashing. I wanted to make sure you were okay. And now, perhaps, we can go and get to the bottom of what is going on in this crazy place.
Oh, is it you?
There is only one Harmatio for else yet, yes, please.
Walk over.
How are you? Great.
I'll open the door.
Yeah. So when you open the door, can I see your place?
I open it sort of to the side so you can see behind me, I guess.
Right. I'm like, would you like to talk outside?
I see you peeking, so then I slam it and it's just my head. And it's just sitting there.
You know where that one that's gonna pay me is?
I believe I can locate him. Yes, I believe it should not be too difficult. Huh?
I step out and close the door.
Guess I gotta tolerate you again.
It is me or that poor doll you had in the corner.
What are you talking about?
I
You didn't
did.
see
I
nothing.
must have been mistaken. I did
Yeah, I
not
think you're
think- yeah,
mistaken.
There's a pile of pillows. A pile of pillows.
Well, I
Yes.
suggest you turn around and start walking.
I really do try and like see if I, especially when I was coming up the staircase, I kind of keep an eye out. Like, did I notice any stains, trails, scents? Like, I really am using that to try and figure out where he might be, because he didn't care at all about leaving a mess in the streets. So I'm thinking that probably follows him home.
Yeah, that one lives in here too, huh?
I believe we all do. And forgive me, I do not mean to be rude, but are you able to do with the and the smelling and the locating? Is that a thing?
What makes you think I could do that?
There is, you know.
Did sniff and give it away.
Maybe. A little bit, yes. Perhaps you have a cold. I do not like to judge. I do not know. But
Yeah, I guess I'll try.
Give me a survival check.
like, that is magnificent. I think that's what I.
5.
You sniff up to, like you kind of sniff around a little bit. You pace back towards the stairwell that Hamasio came from. You give a little in the air, and then you turn back around and start walking back towards him, and then you, and all you get is his armpits.
Yeah, I thought that was you. Well, I got nothing.
Then perhaps we will try the direct route. I go back to the staircase, and in the middle, I go, Lucian! Felix! And just yell through the stairway.
You know these things work real good, right?
Better than your nose, I hope. Lucian! Felix!
So the echo carries its way up and down the stairs. You guys are on roughly the 4th floor is what I'm gonna just go ahead and say, so that puts you on the 5th floor.
Okay.
In the stairwell, you can see somebody's head with a nice fedora, like a very nice, probably too nice for this neighborhood fedora. Look down and go, hey, shut up.
Is it the gnome or just someone else?
No,
Oh, wait.
just a big, like square-jawed human. You're guessing roughly the same size as you.
Sorry, my friend, I'm lost. I'm looking for my friends. There is a creepy elf with this odd look he gives.
They're gonna be down.
As I walk by.
Just for the record, I'm with you. I'm like this guy.
The head just slowly pulls back over the stairs. And as you start to make your way down, you see poking his head out of a door, also on the 4th floor, is Felix.
The hell are you yelling about?
We did not exchange our particulars, our details. I did not know how to locate you. Him, he's easy with the yelling and the smashing. You, not so much.
For a moment, I thought you were Garland.
I thought I saw Garland as well. It's a different fellow. It's the same hat. A very popular hat and genre.
I'm just gonna. Are they above or below?
So you are on the same. You're on 4.
Yeah.
That's where he's at.
Right.
And then he was up on the 5th floor.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have, like, hidden into a corner at this point.
you're still in the apartment. This is them in the hallway, or like basically in the stairwell, like right around that area. So
Alright.
he's like the last
Okay,
apartment right
gotcha.
before the stairwell. They're about in the middle. He's in the middle,
All right,
and I'm just pulling this out of my ass, so it's all good.
all good.
But
You're just
so
watching her put
you
on a dress.
you hear that and you poke your head into the stairwell and you see them. So it's kind of like the guy up top. His head disappears right as Felix's head pops in, and he's like,
We are looking for the elf, the Lucian.
and then you hear correcting you from the 1st floor. An elf head just slowly moves its way out, peers up at you. You can see his dazzling white platinum hair just kind of dangling underneath him. It is freshly wet, as if just bathed. And you can see that he actually is not wearing a shirt whatsoever when he slides back under the thing and looks up and says, "It's Lucian. Lo."
You're very attractive, my friend, with the hair and the glistening. But perhaps you two could meet us outside. I will gather or find Zaylen and Rose, and we will meet outside. I have something to tell you. We have learned a clue. And then literally I run away. Like, I don't wait. I let him run back to my house after I tell them that.
What do you do when he runs off?
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, Mr. Happy Pants or you.
I was just begrudgingly follow after I got.
Okay, so you follow back down. As they make their way down to where you are, you turn, look down, and see him.
I'll be down in a moment. I'm gonna pop back into my apartment and split my coin purse into like 2 or 3 different ones, put them into different pockets, and then head down.
Okay. In different pockets on you.
Yeah, different areas, like hide one in my boot, things like that.
Go ahead and write down on your paper there how many
Cool.
pouches and where you're putting them for
Just
me.
will do.
As a general point of reference, I hide half of all of my money under the floorboards under my chair. Just in general. I mean, just as a life thing. Harmatio doesn't walk around
What
with
is
all
half
this
of
cash.
0? Because last time I checked, you had all your stuff taken.
Well, I'm saying half I should have had stashed, but even so, if going forward, I always hide half.
It's always good to correct our mistakes going forward.
No one asked me where my money was before.
Why would I?
Yeah. But as an article of faith, Harmatio never carries all of his money on his person.
As an
Yes.
article of roleplay, Hermatio can tell me when he goes to roleplay that next time. Lucian? Do you have any orifices or something you want to tell me about stuffing money into? Is there?
Where's Robert?
No, I just keep the spare inside the mouse, the taxidermy mouse. That's all.
Oh, you have a taxidermy now.
Of course.
Do you talk to it and throw it around and
It's
have
dead.
things stitched into it?
Yeah, it's dead.
Just asking.
No, I don't speak to dead things usually. They don't talk back very well.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you do now?
Clean up, put on clothes, and go stand at the bottom of the stairwell, waiting.
Okay. So, as you all get together and meet up in the lobby, you make your way. I assume that's where we're going. We're just gonna head back to the club.
And recount for them what Robert said. Like, I don't hide it. Like, I tell to the best of my knowledge what he told us.
He said the bird fell down, and that Teason wanted to talk to Hermatio, and to bring friends if necessary.
Who's Teason?
That's the bodyguard.
Teason's the club, the bouncer at the club on certain nights.
Oh,
The doorman.
gotcha.
Although, was he the doorman last night?
No.
Okay, all right.
He's off.
Okay.
I was going to suggest talking to Teason. He tends to work with those who were at the morgue yesterday.
Yes.
Oh.
He has become a friend of mine. He has sent some work our way.
Yes.
I'm just looking around.
Would you look at this group? You got the happy-go-lovey's, the swindler, Corneth, the death machine,
Hi.
We should talk to
Yeah.
Cad too.
this one.
You know, Grits, just because you lost doesn't mean that I cheated.
It doesn't
It's
mean
a
you,
new
It's
day.
true.
It doesn't mean you didn't either.
Oh,
You
no,
could
that's-
win and lose so much today. It's a new day.
Yeah, he's right, actually. I think I agree with him.
Why?
There are other things like murder. It's more exciting than your bickering.
Let's
I would
go.
agree.
I'm gonna get
My
paid for
friends,
this.
while we're walking, I say,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time thinking about these things last night, and I have a theory I would like to share. I believe, well, first, Latch knows what happened. They know him, they barely know him. He knows what happened. If this was a simple gambling debt or an issue of respect, they would want everyone to know not to cross them at Old Dominion. This is good. So the fact that they are hiding means this Birdman was something important. I suspect he works for the government. Because why else do they want no record of these? Why else did the men appear at the morgue so quickly? Who was the
He
rotund
always
man?
has the conspiracy theories.
No, but the facts, they line up. It is what makes sense.
I guess.
So,
it does make sense.
this is just my theory. I do not know, but this is what makes sense to me.
Don't encourage him.
You don't.
Yeah, I think he's talked enough.
Very,
quite
very
honestly.
interesting.
Okay. So as you approach, you can see in what daylight makes its way down to street level here in this district, which you know is it's adjacent to the Firelight District. But it's a border
Firelight.
area. Yes. That was one of those giggles that like the class clown does. Okay.
Giggity.
So as you make your way up to the Old Dominion, you can see basically kind of what a nondescript club looks like during the day. Just
Very terrible.
sad.
Yes.
As you start to turn down the alleyway where the front door is, you can see that the sign looks as though it's been kind of damaged. And you can see the massive frame of the bronzewood Warforged Latch standing outside, little bits of light kind of gleaming off of his Brellish faceplate and some of the armored bits. And he's the first one to turn and look in your direction. You're still a little far off to hear what he's saying to another portly man whom you recognize as Teason. Teason has a kind of comb over with the sides buzzed really short, as if maybe at one point he had this like nice, maybe even like coiffed hair that has since thinned from a bad diet, late nights, a lot of stress, no sleep. And he's dressed in all black pants and a black jacket that says Old Dominion Security across the back.
It's very subtle. I
Like a
this.
biker?
Yeah, right.
No, not like a leather biker's jacket, like a security at a club jacket.
Like a crack suit, like Adidas, like the line.
Whatever that is, yes.
I look at the two of you and I say, I believe you all know Latch better than I. If you wish to speak to him, otherwise perhaps we should wait till he departs.
You would know.
But he may not want to say.
It is true.
So with that, you see Latch kind of indicates to Teason that you guys are here, and he turns and walks over. He seems to have kind of something you would notice would be like almost a military step. Like he seems to walk with a sense of purpose that is more indicative, even though he's heavy, his posture is actually really solid. He holds himself as though he's got a good bit of respect until he reaches you, and then he kind of slouches as if like just a little winded from the movement.
Hello, Teason.
Hey. So, we got a little bit of a problem. I'm sure you heard about the kenku. I hear you took care of him. So, I was working homicide last night, and we ended up spending all night at the morgue.
Oh.
And we didn't really get any closer. But the one thing that we were able to discern is where he lives. It's not much of a mystery on that one anyway. But we don't know the cause of death yet.
It was strange.
What?
It was strange. There was
Yeah.
no obvious cause.
Well, what I was hoping is that you could go find out maybe what the cause of death is, and then go tell his wife
What was the duck's name?
for me. The what?
The duck?
The duck?
The kenku?
Yeah.
Kind
Like
of.
a crow.
You got problems with you know, the population?
Not especially.
What's
very-
this duck thing going on?
I heard
They don't like that.
Oh, fair enough.
It's more like a
Who was the
crow.
who was the
Oh.
person in charge at the morgue who wouldn't let me go in?
Wouldn't let me go in either.
But he
That's not
works there.
good. He was on homicide. He should have been in there.
You should have been in there, but they wouldn't let you in.
They told me to come back tomorrow.
So can you go back then? Check the body?
If
See
they
if you
meant
find
today-
anything?
Yes. But they said tomorrow late last night, which would have been this morning. So that would have been not today, but tomorrow.
My
Yeah,
friend,
it sound like-
but Teason, my friend, despite his ignorance about the diversity of Sharn, renders a good question. Do we know the kenku's name?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's on the paperwork.
We know now.
Catter.
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 He's in the club all the time.
So we
Was
He's a bit of a stool pigeon.
she knows
that
a
now who is
pigeon
not being
does-
insensitive to the do not speak ill of the
That's
dead,
what
my
I'm
friend?
saying.
Yeah, I know that is an unfair double standard,
He has,
Teason.
he
The
has to
different
get,
beaks
he
and
has to
everything.
make
That's a
a,
euphemism.
He has to make a
Something
living, and
smells
sometimes he
foul
has to
around
wet
here.
his beak on some information.
That is true. That is true.
I can't cope with all these differences.
As you said before, he befell. What was it that you said? The foul play. That was
right.
very funny when you
Everybody's
said
a comedian.
Perhaps he ruffled the wrong feathers.
Oh, jeez, come on.
I'm sure he's just scratching out a living.
Oh,
Sorry,
I go into the
Teason,
club.
Teason. What is his address?
Guys, I'm really tired.
His address.
He's at the Raven's Nest apartment.
Of course he's at the Raven's Nest apartment.
Of course he is. It's the only place kenku or nest.
it's because that's the only place they could take their talking. Repeating and repeating.
It's
You
true,
can't
and
even
then-
ask him
and
a
the
straight
crackers
question.
in there asking the same things.
Are we just gonna stand here and squawk all day?
Oh, God.
Actually,
Let's
Latch has requested to talk to you,
Okay.
Can I walk?
and I think he said to bring them.
Sure. I mean, I think we got whatever we could find out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a-
And
Okay,
then
so
we
you
can-
three go talk to Latch right now. He has a job for you. And what I'm asking you to do, Armatio, I appreciate some of the things you've done in the past. Letting me know when certain people leave buildings or what have you, but this one's a little bit more delicate. I'd like you to accompany Lassian back to the morgue and just keep an eye out.
That is what I do best.
And then I'd like you to also learn as much as you can from the kenku from his wife. Her name's Jingler. And Rose, I think it's gonna be a good idea if you're the one that breaks the news to the kenku.
I'm terrible at these.
I was going to say, you do not know my
I will.
Rose. That's not
No,
Yeah.
it's the fact that she's definitely got the nicest voice, and the kenku tend to calm down for singing. So if you can sing the cause of death to them, it will likely be a little easier for everybody. The last thing you want is the repetitive.
I am a professional. I'll be fine.
Art, yes. I must pose an indelicate question to you. What is the compensation for these
The
tasks?
standard rate.
What's the standard rate? I
It's
don't know.
based on the information that he brings back.
Well, we better get a lot of information.
I will return when I have something concrete.
Okay, don't take too long though.
I never do.
Armadio, you should
He
prob-
just kind of turns around and straightens his posture and walks back to follow the other three of you over to Latch.
Bye, Teason.
Bye.
Felix, what was this you were asking?
You should probably keep your conspiracies at the Raven's Nest alone. Don't mention that to people. I don't think they'll appreciate that.
I have no clue what this thing you're speaking of. No.
All right, so the three of you walk over to Latch. Teason follows you over there, but he stops a little bit short, turns and heads inside the building. Hello. It is very nice to see you again, Zaylin. I watched you outside.
I tried to get in.
Yes. You did not pay the doorman.
I didn't realize that that's how, I should have gotten in, but, I'm here now.
Right. He asked you for identification, correct?
Correct.
Have you ever had identification?
Have I ever had identification? Didn't think so. No.
Then what do you think you were supposed to give him?
Well, I know that now.
Hindsight
Yeah.
is Warforged eyesight. Haha. Haha.
Ah. It's a good one.
Right? So, if you look up at the sign, you can see that it was damaged. Something fell from much higher up. And as you look down, you can just see there's a brick that is laying in some weird cant, like smashed down like about a third of it. So it's just kind of sitting there like the Leaning Tower of Pisa in like on the cobblestone. And he hasn't really moved over to it, or like you can tell nobody's really gone around it, but it seems to have cut right through the middle of the sign, but only hitting the enchanted glass that was in the middle of it. So the Old Dominion sign is kind of doing this like weird sputtering of the different colors on the outside where the glass is still intact. I am in need of another sign. I was hoping that you could help, and I have compensation to take care of you so that you do not have to stand in the alleyway. My alleyway. Always.
Understood.
I see you are one of the envoy class. You may want to take the shifter with you to carry the sign back, as it will likely be a two-person thing to lift, and you might want to take the mouth with you as well, as I've heard him work a couple of deals on some of our serving girls.
Oh.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Haha, haha.
I like this one.
I'm pretty sure I can actually fix your sign, though.
Sure. Give it a go. Haha.
How high up is it?
It's about 30, 40 feet up.
All right. Are there any obvious ladders or gantries to get up there?
There is a fire escape farther down in the alley. Probably about like 10, 20 feet away from the actual door.
All right.
So if you were to go basically straight up that thing, you would still need to be able to reach about 10 feet over.
Okay. So I think if it's all right, I might try and climb up there to try and get a better look of it.
Where are you climbing?
Probably the safest route to climb up there, if possible.
Yeah,
Just
I
so
think you should climb up there.
Which route is that?
Is there not like a?
There's a fire escape. You're gonna need a boost to get up to the ladder.
Could you help me?
I mean, yeah, but if you can't do it, I think I know somebody who can help us with this sign.
All right. I mean,
I'll
that's fine too.
I'll help you up there.
I feel like you'll just throw me over the edge.
No, why would I do that?
I probably because of some.
The man needs a sign fixed.
I do.
See?
Yes.
He
It would be
does.
nice if I didn't have to pay exorbitant features for that.
Wait, do I get paid for helping him up there?
You will get paid when I have a functioning sign that does not look like kenku.
Yeah, all right. Come on.
You wanted to go up there. Let's go.
All right, fine. So we'll see if you can give me a boost.
You're just getting a boost up to the ladder?
Yeah, I want to try and get close enough that I can kind of look at it and see if it's actually repairable.
Okay,
At least with the skill set that you know I have. So.
sure. So you are absolutely strong enough just to lift him up.
Please do not die, my friend.
Give me a sleight of hand check to see if you can actually like hold onto him appropriately, to see if he can even get his hands to the ladder.
So that would be a 17.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to lift him up. You steady his feet, and you actually do it with a little bit of like. It almost looks as if maybe this was something that's been practiced or that you've done before, maybe even in like a really stressful situation, because it not only are you physically capable of it, but you seem to be rather, for you, calm about the entire situation. You're able to just get a little boost up, and you're surprised almost at how quickly you get there, and also like that he puts you right in front, like the line for the thing is right there, so you don't even have to really pull yourself up. You're basically right there.
Great.
So, a couple of rungs you go, and you're on the landing of the fire escape.
Can we see this from where we are?
Yes. How long are you guys hanging out there?
Well, was the implication we were supposed to go separate from? Okay, all right. I mean, then I would probably linger a little bit just because I'm trying to read their lips and I'm nosy.
Okay.
But at least if we saw that, I would look at you and say, can you treat a broken leg?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that you guys
left.
Because that was a long conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then we peaced out.
And you can talk to him about whatever when you are walking away, but.
So I'm a bit closer now, and I can.
You're on the landing now. It's still about, we'll say 15 feet.
All right.
Until you could reach the sign. And Latch is just kind of watching you. You would be able to tell that he's watching with some amount of curiosity, just based on the, you can see like him actually doing the math in his head about where the things are, but the two of you can't. He's a blank slate.
All right. I'm gonna check the gantry just kind of cautiously. Does it look like it's firm, or does it look a little rickety down?
The landing?
Yeah, the landing.
Landing's fine.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna try and advance as close as I can safely.
You're still about 15 feet,
That's
leaning
fine.
over the railing.
All
You
right.
can get about 15 feet.
I'll try and eyeball it, and do I think I can actually repair this with?
Give me a...
It's magical, isn't it?
Parts of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me a... well, do you have any... Let's see. What kind of tool proficiencies do you have?
Where would tool position?
It would be like there.
You actually should have... you have Arcana.
Yep.
You do not have a... you should have a tool proficiency. So right now... and you have Tinker Tools. So
Yes.
we're going to go ahead and say that your proficiency with Tinker Tools will give you some idea
All right.
if you can repair the non-magical portion.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me a intelligence check
Okay.
with proficiency for your Tinker Tools.
I'm gonna lean over to Zaylen.
The sound of him hitting the ground is gonna be music to my ears.
What would be my proficiency
It
bonus?
will
on that?
certainly,
It's a
Alright.
+2.
Okay, great.
will certainly be
Lost
loud.
out. Oh,
Oh,
that's pretty good.
very nice.
So that would be 23.
Okay.
You're doing
So
it right.
you can look at it from where it is, and you can see that unless you can basically go through the glass blowing process on your own, as well as shaping it, which you would need glass maker tools, and you would need the appropriate like heat source to do the blowing.
Right.
Unless you had that capability, you probably cannot fix it here.
How about my spell?
It's probably not going to work
No. Okay.
for the extensive damage that this brick caused.
It's way too damaged. Noted. All right. In that case, I'll try to climb back down.
All right.
I'm just looking with like, just eager look. Come on, just fall.
Is there anything about the brick that's unusual?
It's
that we
still
can-
leaning at this edge, on this angle.
on the ground?
On the ground, it's basically
Yeah.
like,
Is there anything about the brick that's would be unusual to us?
The
looks
fact
like a
that it's
brick.
Made out of solid gold.
Yeah, right? It looked like a brick.
It looked like a brick.
So I'm gonna get down and sniff the brick.
Is that a euphemism?
More than the other one.
I am not sure what you're doing. Does it smell like a brick?
Y'all think it does smell like a brick? I'm smelling the brick. That's what I'm doing.
Are you sure now that it is a brick?
Yeah.
Do I smell anything like weird?
You smell a brick.
Okay.
And
Yep,
you're
smells
in an
like a brick.
alleyway. You're in an alleyway that has like essentially piss and everything coming down in through it every night. So, of course, it smells weird.
Stand up. Yep, it's a brick.
Good
It's a
job.
brick roll there.
That's good.
Good. Now that we have that cleared out,
It's not a mimic.
did you notice anything else about the brick?
But it's a brick. Smells like one.
Thank you. All right. So you said you knew someone.
Yeah, I think I know someone who might be able to help us fix this sign. Someone named Nedra. It's a sign
Oh,
maker.
yes. The sign right?
Yeah.
Very good.
So, yeah, we can go ask her.
Here is, and he pulls out 2 silver sovereigns. I will need a receipt and the change, please.
Now or after?
How would you generate a receipt for the sign from me without knowing how much?
Ah, yes. Okay.
He puts it down in your hand, and he takes his other hand and he closes it over there. He goes, I can see from the look of the plate on your face that you are a Karn. That is fine. Just don't act like one here, if you catch my drift. I am trusting you.
You can trust us.
I
Him, I
am
don't know.
trusting you. I have heard about this one and seen this one.
Well, you can trust me.
Of course.
Trust Con happy.
Hey.
Settle down.
All right.
Snarky malarkey.
So you know your way to the sign shop, to the sign right, I believe. And in the meantime, as you guys start to walk out that way, where did you guys want to go first?
Morgue.
Okay.
You were correct. They told us just this morning to come back tomorrow. Do we still want to try? Let us try.
Okay.
This time, I go in the front door. I can do this.
Well, let him go first.
I mean, yes. If they stop him again, this time I go to the front door. I wanted to do this last time. You told me, no, Ramati, do
Oh,
not do
yeah.
this time.
Well, there was
so that's
people.
why I didn't do it. Now,
Okay.
I will do it. Yes. Yes. The
Okay.
morgue. Yes.
After you, sir.
I do keep an eye out for any of the kids we spotted last night. Like if I just happen to notice them around or anything, just on general principle. Yeah.
Okay.
Round 2.
You're a very observant gentleman. You do not see the children anywhere on your way to the morgue.
Thank you, Dungeon Master.
Good.
Roll
They
for
cannot
wan-
rob us twice. It is fine. Yes. What a
Roll
good-
for wandering damage.
I have plenty in store for you all. All right. So as you make your way to the maze, as you make your way to the morgue, you notice that the street area, you can tell that there was a decent amount of foot traffic there. There's even some empty coffee mugs, or the cups just like tossed about around with the other usual gutter trash that's there. And you can see that it seems to be, well, as devoid of life as a morgue should be at this point.
Nobody's dropping off. Okay.
It's just eerily quiet for you two, and pleasantly quiet for you.
I go to the back door.
Oh, it's
Okay.
always going to the back.
I do tell him that what I saw before, when we were here previously, I saw where they taking a body to the front of the facility and they had it taken out and they had like the tapestry from Old Dominion, like it was there. Perhaps they have taken the kenku.
Perhaps.
Can we come with you inside? Should we do the morning thing where she cries with the father?
No,
and
I
then-
don't want to.
No? Perhaps I should cry this time, huh?
You can cry whenever you want.
Okay, oh, well, perhaps. Lead on.
Okay.
Okay, so you go in the side door, you walk a little ways down that hallway, and it opens up into basically the room where the bodies are. Yeah, the slabs are, where the bodies are inventoried coming in. And you can see that the kenku's body is still there with the beak pointing straight up and the bag over. Yeah, like it's draped over it. You can see the beak and you can see the feet have this nice little silhouette going on for it.
I didn't pay too close attention. Are any of them conspicuously absent from before?
That was when you came and dropped him off. That was the only one that you had in process that day, and the paperwork for it is actually just sitting there like on the thing, and the toe tag is like protruding a little bit from underneath the drape.
Okay. I'll walk over and start unzipping and take
I don't like it. I go somewhere else.
I'm like super close. Like, I mean, if this is the beak, I'm like,
Okay, so you're leaned over as he is pulling the.
I wait till he unzips it, and when I see the face, then I'm like,
While I'm getting my apron on, I turn and just over my shoulder, not really looking at him, and go, "Be careful, you're in the splash zone."
All right, so you pull it back. You pull it back. He gets into the zone, and as you pull it back, so this is basically like
I'm going to the bathroom.
there's a hallway and there's like a room, and then there's like clear glass on the other, like a reflective mirror on the wall there, and then there's like a viewing area door on the other side.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Okay. You are just gonna go wander about until you find one in a morgue?
Yes.
Great. You can roll me a survival check.
I actually don't notice because I'm fixated. Like, for once, I'm not tracking her.
All right.
Maybe I should have been.
Maybe she'll find the supply closet.
Hey, it's a 6.
Okay. So you are, you guys are squaring this thing away as you start your process. What are you looking for?
Me personally?
Yeah, what are you looking for as he starts his once over?
Clues. Either what killed this thing, or if there's like scars, if there are markings. I do not know if the bird can have the tattoo under the feathers. I do not know.
Are you ruffling his feathers to find
No,
out if you
I
can
do
get to
not.
the skin?
I do not interfere with his work here. I'm simply observing.
Okay.
Very
so you're not
closely.
actually touching it at all?
No.
You're just standing there?
Yes.
Got it.
But observing.
Sure. Give me a medicine check. And you can give me one at advantage. Because you have home court advantage right now.
Oh, so close. Just 10.
Okay.
Can I help in any way?
No.
18.
18?
Yeah.
All right. So as you're going through, you notice there's a couple of places where he's missing feathers, likely from the drag over here. This particular one to you seems to be a little short for normal kenku. So he's roughly about 4.5 feet tall. You make your way from toe all the way up to the top, taking little bits here and there. What you do notice is that his talons seem to actually be very brittle, and they don't have the same dark color that most would have. In fact, it seems to have like kind of this bluish tint around where the cuticle would be. And then as you work your way up, and the little spots where feathers are missing, you can kind of see that the veins and arteries that would be really close to the surface have almost a bluish outline to them, as if oxygenated in a different way. And the rest of your once-overs is pretty standard until you get to his eyes, where humans would get like dark circles from a lack of sleep. He seems to have this bluish coloring around, just kind of almost on the inside of the mucosal membrane area.
Inside the lid.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like a bird to you.
Does it?
You can tell he's a little shorter than most.
But can I tell that he's in any way confused?
You can tell that he's an elf.
With that look the elves give.
I'll stop with the visual exam and the measurements, and I'll pry open the beak and take a swab and see if there's anything in the back for a culture, or if there's any sort of foam coming from the lungs to show poisoning or asphyxiation.
Okay. So when you do that, what are you using to
Swab.
Yeah, you're swabbing it, but what are you going to put it in?
Oh,
His mouth.
dish.
In the what? In a dish? Okay, so you take it over and go ahead and walk me through the process of what's going on.
Yeah, I swab it, I look at it and walk it over to the dish and set it down.
Are you following him?
I do. When he does that, I'm like, what is this you're doing?
I'm checking for poison.
Do you wear the gloves or mask or things?
Gloves or mask?
Proceed, sorry. Pretend I'm not here.
Leather gloves would get in the way. You couldn't feel anything.
I think that is the intention of the gloves, my friend, yes.
Yeah, see if there's any way I can do a test, see if it reacts. Just to see if there's any herb or poison.
You have a cantrip, yes?
I have illusion.
Illusion, okay. So that would probably not help you much. Here, are you...
I've got herbalism, and I got medicine.
Oh, you have herbalism?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and give me a wisdom check with your herbalism proficiency. And in the meantime, you got a 6.
I don't.
As you work your way deeper into the interior of the morgue structure, you move your way through one door and you pull a latch and you go through another door, and it seems to be getting colder the further in you go.
I like the hot parts, not the cold parts.
On the overall, it's pretty much giving you goosebumps on your skin, the entire area.
But the cold is where they probably keep the bodies, so I'm going to go away from the cold.
So you're gonna turn back around and go back out?
Yes, well,
Okay.
I'm going to look for the lobby, because near the lobby is where they would have the restrooms.
Okay. So as you turn around and you start to go back through the doors, you realize that one of them is locked. And you feel around and you do not see a latch anywhere.
How does message work?
You can't go through steel, which you now realize this entire room is a very cold steel box. Tick, tock. And you start banging on the door.
That was a little box ten.
Hormatio! Roll me a perception check.
I put the die down and it was a 20, so let's see. Oh, let's see. It's 7.
7!
I've got pretty good perception.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
You're engaged in
I got a dirty 20.
You got a dirty 20 on the...
On the
Okay, so what you recognize out of this is, and this might be just for... Actually, you know what? At our break, I will tell you what it is, because it's something that you've witnessed from experience of things that you've seen before.
I know what it is.
Do you already know?
I think so.
Okay, so I didn't want to share with everybody.
That's okay.
yet.
I believe he is dead.
And we go to a squat little, what basically looks like a shanty, jutting out slightly from one of the larger towers, almost as if it was kind of just like built as a wooden extension of the tower. But as you move your way into the signwrite shop, just inside you have basically a single room and a curtain that divides it in half. Inside you can see all sorts of different shapes and sizes of wood, some different planks and piles there, and a couple of somewhat, I mean actually very well made examples of different signs all over the room. Some of them glow with a nice, even, steady tone of different neons, some of them of the nice pale color of a sunlight, some of them with a much more sterile white appeal to them. And you see behind the counter a older woman, maybe probably in her 50s, who you know as Nedra.
Hello, Nedra.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. It's always good to see you, Zylan. How you doing?
It's been an interesting few days, actually.
You're an interesting lady. We're going with lady now, yeah?
Yes, I am going with Lady now. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Of course.
These are my friends.
Are they
These are my
gentlemen? Are
friends.
they going by gentlemen?
They are.
One of us.
Are you going by gentlemen?
One of us.
I just wanted to make sure.
Chris is a day.
I don't
Well-
care what you call me. I just want to get paid.
Well, these are my associates, Grizz and Felix. This is Nedra.
Hi. And you two see a half-elven woman who kind of has this like aimless but very lively feel about her. She stands about 5 feet tall behind the counter, and she has wide shoulders and strong arms that fill out a simple but sturdy cross-threaded blouse. Kind of like Robert's, but stitched up a bit. Her narrow torso retreats below a 3/4 set of breeches that do little to hide long, capable legs. I'm actually reading the wrong one, but that's okay.
It's like, for a short person, those are long legs.
She's like a monstrous.
She does have the dress.
So actually, this is how this works. You two notice that because you're actually not looking at the woman sitting at the counter. You're looking past her through the curtain to a much younger half-elf.
That's amazing. That's actually really good.
And the breeches that she wears do little to hide her long, very capable legs. And you can see a faint blue tattoo on her right ankle, just above some threaded sandals. But it's a little too small to discern exactly what it is. She has very lean, attractive cheeks and dazzling green eyes. That's all you can see at this point, before your attention is drawn back to the counter, where the woman is now staring at you because you are staring at her daughter, which she slides the curtain shut to. And your attention is now caught to a small but intimidating half-elf in her 50s, with pale skin and a diligent air about her. Overall, she has pretty cute little oval ears, but some hawkish brown eyes, which she's now trained back and forth through you. And she has 2 very thick braided ponytails that are kind of crimped from the routine of staying in the ponytails, draped over each shoulder, which slump down to give her posture a nice sodden arch. You can tell that she spends quite a bit of time hunched over a desk, likely, well, you might not get this, but likely over sign work. There's a couple of layers of paint that are spattered across her nails and cuticles, and even up to her knuckles that reveal the telltale signs of a sign write. Oh.
Nedra, I was wondering if you could help us with something.
Oh. Is it a sign?
Yeah, are you familiar with the Old Dominion?
Latch.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Latch sent us here. We came here to see if you could help us with their sign that seems to have broken in a odd way. Well, lots of odd things are going on around there. But we were wondering if you could help us fix the sign.
Do you want a new one?
How much would it be to make a new one?
Oh, depends on the one that you want.
And she kind of pulls up a little chart from behind the desk, and she's like,
If I recall, it looks like this one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's a 1 silver and a couple of coppers.
Sure, yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Have you heard of what's going on over there?
No, should I?
Well, I don't know. but something weird's happened.
Like what?
Well, there was this kenku that died mysteriously, and we saw him dragged out. But everybody seems to be kind of hush-hush about it.
Oh.
We were wondering if, since, you know...
Lavinza! Yes? Lavinza, did you hear anything about a kenku? What about it, Mother? Dying! All the time at the Old Dominion Club. No, we didn't hear about it.
Okay, well,
Lavinza! Yes. Oh, good. Could you bring up the materials and the last receipt from the Old Dominion? Yes. Good. Thank you, sweetie.
I don't think she heard you.
Huh?
No.
Lavinza! Yes, Mom. Did you hear me? Of course I did. The smelly one is telling me you didn't. I didn't know. He has big ears. Bigger than ours? Yes!
I'm just gonna cross my arms.
So it'll take me just a little bit of time.
sure, how long are we...
No, probably about 30, 40 minutes. I just need to rework the glass and give it a little special spunk.
You always do.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. You're going to... so you see the price on that then?
Yes, if we can get... we have money to pay you. If we can just get a receipt to give to Latch.
Right. Do you just want a copy of the last one?
Sure.
Okay. You okay?
I'm fine.
Yes.
Oh, I was just curious if you have any discounts or sales going on for any of your particular signs or anything like that.
What's your particular sign?
Oh, it was
Pisces.
the same. It was the same sign. I was just curious.
Right, yes. Well, everything costs something, you know? Right.
Of course.
So, if we're talking about tits for tats,
I don't follow.
do you want a discount or not?
It's the Roberts.
I think he wants a discount.
I think she's asking if he's got tattoos.
I think everybody needs to chug.
Can do that kind of thing.
So what did you have in mind?
You look like a gentleman.
On occasion.
Mm-hmm. That's the kind I like.
Ah. So what did
Do you want to come back and check out the signs that are behind the curtain sometime?
Yeah, he really likes signs. I think he was.
I'm broken.
He just will not stop talking about how much he loves signs.
Yes, I'm an avid
That's all I
sign.
hear.
I love signs. Please, I'm fascinated in some of the finer points and delicacies of sign making.
Good.
Yes.
You look young. You are, yeah?
Yes.
You're not too young, are you? I see that sign from time to time.
With me being human and you being
Right.
I mean, there's a little bit of a difference in age gap there, but
Mhm.
I'm of age for a person, for a human.
Good.
Yes.
Me too.
Okay.
I know sometimes it's hard to tell. You know,
But people say that Lavinza and I are sisters all the time.
Yes.
Lavinza! Yes, mother. Did you find it yet? Yes. Can you come out here? I need to show somebody that we look like sisters. Hold on just 1 second. Lavinza! Come, hurry up. Coming, mother. And then from behind the curtain, you see like you see her kind of like pop out a little bit and lean forward, and she is very striking. You two give me perception checks.
Ooh.
Great.
So I get a 19.
What?
Yes. No, I got it. Yes. 4. Okay. So you were just so interested in this situation that's going on, and you're kind of like looking over at Zaylin to just kind of like check in and be like, right. But you notice that not only do they not look like sisters, and that she's clearly a very attractive woman. And you also seem to notice that there's just something so familiar to you already about her, and you can't quite put your finger on it yet. But we may figure that out. I may let you in on that when we go to break and see how you want to play with that later.
Break.
When we get there. But first, we're going to see what happens inside a certain icebox.
Did you want to?
You're banging on the thing, and
Since I'm not actively looking for her, is that my passive perception or my active perception?
so it's because you are trained in, like, over his shoulder, checking in on that stuff, it's not your passive. That's why I was giving you the check.
I'm doing a thing.
Okay. Do you want to give it another roll? Are you
Dogs.
continuing to beat on the walls?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not starting screaming. Oh come on.
You can give me a check now.
As I turn to him and I go, smell this. Does this smell like death poison?
Like, actually, I do smell it. I'm like, well, I'll see if you roll it.
I got a 19.
I'm like,
Okay.
I'm like, maybe it's an odd bouquet. I thought it was just dead bird. I don't understand this.
So while he's doing it, you're like, smell that, kind of thing. And he's like, well, yes, I said. And you go, hold on. And you can hear, and then you just kind of like follow, you like take the swab away from his nose, and you just kind of like walk down the hallway holding it in front of you as if you're like, it's like a light or something like that. But you're not paying attention to it, and you just walk, you go through one door, through another, you watch him.
I do just say, I'm like, we have to show this to Rose. Perhaps when she smells it, she will recognize where this thing comes from. She likes a lot of perfumes from all over the world.
So he's saying that, trailing behind you. As you walk your way through a door, take a left through a door, and then
I'm
you...
walking it and I say, banging noises in the morgue usually isn't a good thing.
Wait, did
Yeah.
you notice?
So you come to a door, and you can't quite hear, but you do hear a banging, and you hear like a high-pitched wail.
Oh no.
And you can give me a history check.
God, what did I end up?
11.
Oh no, I don't like this.
It's never a good look.
You recognize that it's a person.
That's a person screaming.
Like, why are you keeping
killing
people
me
inside
out.
of the
We
the
keep
vault?
most of them inside the icebox where they're dead.
Right, but this one apparently he's like saying words. Wait, Rose.
As you turn,
That's usually a
like
bad
to
thing.
look, actually like taking in the area, it's dark in here, but your night vision, like your dark vision, starts to pick up all the bodies.
Get me out of here! I
stacked.
want to get out of here!
They
Help
usually-
me, Armadio!
They shouldn't be yelling. They should be dead.
Let me
I-
out!
You hear his name. You're not hearing this yet. Your ears are not picking this up.
I
Armadio!
think it knows who you are. Have you killed anyone recently?
I mean, perhaps there's many men I've... Oh no! And I do try and open the door. Right? Yeah.
So, you see him.
Yeah.
Why did it take you so damn long?
Armando, I want to go out of here. I don't like it. And I just rush past him after I hit him in the chest. I want to go to the restroom, and then I got lost and locked in the thing. And now you're off a fun... I don't know what you're doing, but I want to get out of here. You figured it out.
I look at you and I say, I've never seen a restroom such as this. You keep the bodies in there.
I didn't go in there. There's a lot of dead bodies. It's creepy.
Oh. Did you
Oh.
see anything interesting?
I'm looking at a door the whole time.
Sorry, here. I know, you're very cold. Here. Allow
Don't
me
touch
to
me
warm-
anymore. I don't want to.
No, sorry.
The lavatory is down that way.
Can you just walk me there? I don't
bet.
want to get lost. It's a scary place.
I do not think
this
the kenku
is.
will move, my friend.
But poison.
I don't want it.
No. But
Fine.
do you recognize this? This
I don't know
blue-
any poison.
It's an unusual scent. Perhaps
Why
you
am I going to
recognize it.
smell it and get poisoned?
I mean, it did not kill him. It has not killed me. I think he's safe.
You
then
need
why
to
are you
smell
making
it
me
close.
smell it?
No,
No.
that would be bad.
Can it? I mean, is it smelly?
No.
Or like
We're literally just
nothing.
playing off your interesting
Oh.
trip here. I've been ready to move on from the Morgue for a while.
I have to go to the bathroom.
It's
though.
an
Can you
ingested
please make
poison.
me-
It doesn't.
Can we go
really-
over there,
Yeah.
please?
This way.
Thank you.
Okay, so you lead her to the restroom. You two just kind of like stand outside and kind of discuss things. And
So how many people have you killed?
well, no, I don't actually need that.
But do you tell me about the blue?
Not
being
right now.
unusual?
Nope, because we're going
Guys.
to break.
Cause I actually got to pee for real.
So,
No bodies.
you guys speak in tones that nobody can hear for fear of upsetting Rose. And you guys wait out the time that it takes to get the sign.
I had a quick thing.
What is your quick thing you would like to do?
It's not quick. We'll get to it.
It's not quick?
Well, I mean, it might turn
It's
into
not
a thing.
being quick
All right,
now.
so we're gonna go to break. Sig's gonna roll for rocks or a brick. And we'll be back to see what happens with the rest of this inane quest.
I know there's a break.
See you soon. As you guys make your way, you finish your autopsy and the time it takes her to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
You make sure that you look your best in, I guess they call this a powder room, but that's more for like just preparing the bodies for viewing. As you are making sure that you are ready to go give this news to the residents there at the Raven's Nest Apartments. You all walk up and you see, let's see, did I leave off with you guys or did I leave off with them?
You left off with us, not them.
Okay. So you're going to make your way over there. In the meantime, Lavenza is busying herself, moving back and forth, bringing materials up for Nedra, who's working at the bench, and every now and then just a little...
Yeah.
And goes back to working on the sign, and then, like, looks up again. Goes back to working on the sign. And you can see she taps it, and she goes, oh, it doesn't... Here, rub it for good luck.
Oh.
She holds her hand out, and you start rubbing. She goes, okay, see, it should work now, huh? And it lights up. And then she's like, there you go, okay. And she just taps it off, and it goes back away. She goes, okay, so now it's set up. It just needs to be on at night, right?
Yeah.
It'll be good to go.
Great.
Is her daughter still in there?
Yeah, she's busy moving around.
While that's going on, I'm like leaning really close to inspect the.
She
craftsmanship
bops you on the
of
nose.
The garment.
Yeah. Every time that you get close, Nedra just bops you on the nose. Hey! What are you doing?
Or, nothing.
And then she just goes back to working on it again.
Like,
So as she's like, you see Lavenza start to kind of move the sign around. She doesn't directly lift it and pull it over, but she kind of like moves it over to a part of the counter where you guys can pick it up. And they scratch you out a receipt, hand it over. It says a sovereign and a crown. And she slides you back 9 crowns. The anxiety music is giving me anxiety.
It was like, and now is when the attack is coming, yes?
And she looks at you and she goes,
Is that? I'll lean in to kiss her cheek.
what? She takes the kiss on the cheek. She's like,
Very chastely.
I
So no tongue.
will see you later then.
I can see your craftsmanship is capable of making brilliant lights, but they do not sparkle nearly as much as your eyes.
Okay, give me give me a charisma check.
That would be a 50?
50?
50, yes.
50.
Cha-ching.
She snatches the receipt out of your hand real fast, scribbles on it a little bit, puts some initials next to it, and slides back over to 2 extra copper.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
I'll see you later.
Mm-hmm.
Lavenza! I'm standing right here, and that's basically what you guys get as she's like turns around on the stool as you guys are making your way hastily out, carrying the sign as quickly as possible. You guys make your way up to the Raven's Nest apartment, which is a large cobblestone building. Its exterior is almost like you would say holy, but you wouldn't mean in a close to God kind of way. You would see that these holes are actually like kind of stuffed with feathers, straw, trinkets, eggshells, some grass in places. Basically just like spattered about in different, like there's no order to it other than they're all pretty much packed in with something. And this is a fairly large building. From outside, you can hear that shrill kind of caw or squawk or whatever. And some of them even seem almost like adolescents. As you make your way to the address and the apartment number that Teason provided you before you left, you just kind of hear this cacophony of different vocal ranges, but it almost seems as if they're echoing each other, where everything that was inside is almost just like random words that were just maybe the last thing that these kenku heard before they got home. And now the entire family is just talking about whatever that word was. You make your way up into to number 9 there. You knock on the door.
Before we knock, I say, Rose, when you're delivering this news, if I could give you a piece of advice on your performance, do not be you.
What are you talking about? You're telling me how to be me or not to be me?
Nice.
I'm nice.
No, I know you're nice, but let them know that you're nice.
When they hear my song, they will think, oh, she's so nice.
I believe in you. Yes.
Good.
Proceed. Yes. Nice.
So after you finish that, you kind of like compose yourself and you're like, this never works like I thought it will. You pull your foot out of your mouth and you knock on the door with it. You see a tall, very tall for a kenku, roughly like 5'4". So as tall or maybe a little taller than Rose. How tall are you?
I'm my height. I'm 5'9".
5'9". Okay, so then you see a beak, and 2 eyes looking straight down the beak, carrying a small little raven kenku, bobbing it up and down on a hip.
Hi.
They will repeat anything you say.
Hello.
Oh,
Can we come in? We have something to...
come in.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
come in,
so...
come in,
Yeah,
come in, come in.
Okay, we go in. We're in already.
You hear the little one on her hip start going, and then you start hearing this chirping from the back where like 3 or 4 other mouths are like, come in, come in, come in, come in, come
Oh,
in.
no.
I lean into the little one and I say, blessings upon your family, as the roar of the city comes through the windows. Yes.
Okay, all right. So there is something that we have to tell you. But...
Tell.
Okay.
Are you Jingler? Jingler?
Jingler,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Jingler, 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 Jingler.
How many kids do you have?
Kids,
Is it your kids?
kids,
Babies.
babies.
Oh, shoot.
Shoot.
Can't even
No, just say.
Okay, then
They saw.
we're here to tell you information. And then we are going to leave.
Leave.
But if you have questions, you can ask him.
Him.
Or him. But
Him.
not me.
Just sing this song.
Okay,
now,
okay,
sing
all right.
this song.
I am here to tell. See, I'm here to sing.
So
this
come in.
song. Okay, okay, okay. I am sorry to say.
Sorry.
I am sorry to say. I am sorry to inform you. Maybe you want to sit down. A moment.
Moment. Sit.
Yes.
Sit.
What I am to tell you is very important.
Okay, so she squats, basically right where she is, and starts bobbing
You see.
right there. And now over the back, you can see 4 children,
I.
like four of her clutch that are just kind of like.
You see. Something has happened to your love. Something terrible. He isn't here anymore. But
Love?
But will remain in your heart forever in your heart. Okay, I think we got the point across, right? We can go now.
I don't think she understands what you want her to understand.
Her head just kind of like swivels, and then like just pops all the way back and looks at the kids.
Okay, maybe something faster. Okay, and when I say faster, I mean, okay. I'm sorry to say, your man has died, and he's not coming home.
Died?
Yes.
Died?
Yes.
Die!
Go!
Die! And you just hear like this
No, I
squawking.
need to understand. I need to see this.
You just hear the squawking back and forth. It's like, die, 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 die,
Oh,
die,
I'm like, no, they're about children. No.
die!
Yes.
Die!
His
She understands. She understands the thing you're trying to tell her. She got the. He's not coming home. She gets it now.
What is in your heart?
Right. He is flown to a better
She don't even
place.
care.
Her voice,
doesn't
like
even
after
care.
a second,
Love?
And
just
That's
stares
it,
back
that's all
at
you
you.
have to
But the
say.
kids are still going nuts
I'm
back
like,
behind you.
she is a
Shut
woman
up.
after your own heart. That is great. What was his job?
That's just thing.
No, job.
Thing.
I don't want to say.
Thing.
What was his job?
Okay.
Ask what the job
Okay.
was.
What was your husband? Is he husband?
Ketter was his name. Ketter.
Ketter?
Yes.
So as you
What
start
was
to
Ketter's job?
there you go. As you start to do that, you hear you can see the children back there like calm and just kind of
Oh.
focus in on you again.
Ketter's job.
Catter?
What was his job?
Job?
Does he have a job? Did he have a job?
You're going to have to suggest some, so she's going to
What
repeat
do you want me
the
to
word.
say? You need some help, guys. I'm singing a song. I tell them that he's dead, and
Sing,
now
sing.
all of a sudden,
You.
oh, he's dead. Now I
Hey.
have to do what?
Thing. Vision.
I
Go.
asked.
For the children, she wants
Children,
to
sing.
the babies.
I
Yes.
walk over to all the little ones.
And she
I
gets
hold
up.
on to my coin purse. Yeah.
And I'm looking in the room, like maybe if there was some artifacts of his or something he left that maybe will give me some clue what he.
Right. So as you guys as Rose passes and goes to start singing to the children and calms them down with her beautiful voice. You two notice that she has like a little bell that dangles, a little silver bell that dangles from her wrist that jingles a little bit, and the little one she has, even though she's not paying attention to Rose, she's paying attention to the jingle on her mom's wrist. And she comes up and then squats down in front of you again.
Die.
She like looks you up and down, leans in.
Die. How? Job?
No.
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 Dream Lily.
Dream Lily!
What is this dream lily you speak of?
Where did he get the Dream Lily? Was he selling Dream Lily?
Sell?
Yes or no?
No sell.
Gar- Garland?
Maybe sell.
Did he have enemies? Yes or no?
Ah. Yes.
Were the enemies in the watch? Yes or no?
She pops up though, turns around, and struts back towards the back of the one-room apartment, and looks over her head and gives you like a little bob to follow. And as you do, you guys notice that like all the furniture, there's no cushions anywhere. It's just hay and nesting like put up over everything. And as you walk by, you can see that there's a long table that's kind of set against the wall, and it's got Jingle on one, and you see like a couple of other little names here and there.
On the purchase?
Mm-hmm. On each one of those before the end, which says Catter, but it is also like kind of scratched out a little. And as she walks by it, she just kind of stops, takes the baby's foot, and goes.
Has Catter been gone long?
Gone?
So he came here often. He kept coming back home. He
Home?
wasn't. Okay. He didn't leave you. No?
No. No
He
leave.
left her now. He is not coming back. Oh, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
And she just continues back on towards like the thing, and you basically see that like what would be a bed is actually just a large like it's not a nest, but they're like pallets, kind of in a U shape. And so she goes over and she starts scratching with her feet, moving his bed around, and then she sees a little bit of this kind of bluish.
I'll stop and start cleaning off the area to You see if there's.
It's only on a little bit of the straw.
Okay.
Like a couple of pieces of straw. You notice
Yeah.
the some of the signs of a little bit that's there, and when you kind of when you're moving it around, you notice that it's actually like on the side, like where the straw is set towards the wall, where like just under the pillow.
Amatio, is there a secret panel or something here?
I will take a look, but my friend, this blue substance, is this dangerous for the little ones?
Not if they don't take it.
I do investigate.
We should probably take it away if there is some here.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead and investigate.
Well, he's investigating it.
Ooh, yeah. Finally, I'm good at something. 23.
23.
Yes. I'm like, ah!
So-
no, it's nothing here.
Well, you find a floorboard right under that seems to be a little loose. You're able to pick it up and slide it out of the way. You find a couple of copper coins there. There's like 3 copper crowns, and you see a little bag, but there's nothing in the bag.
I take the money and I give it to her. Yeah, I'm like,
Hand me the bag gently.
and I do like pick up like maybe like a bundle of straw or something, so I can sort of pick up the bag and show it to him. Yeah, I'm like
I look in the bag. Is it just residue?
It doesn't appear like as far as you can tell, there's nothing in there
Okay.
at all. It's just an empty bag.
Well, all right then. You have the money.
Money.
I put the board back and
You have my deepest condolences. If you wish to go through the funerary rites, let me know.
All right. Right.
I can tell you where someone is that could do that.
I won't do that.
I'll pat the little baby on the head.
It little beak like just kind of bobs at you. Make me a con saving throw.
the child is poison.
The child has got snippy little beaks. 11.
11. So it doesn't actually get you, but you start to get like a little slower, and as things kind of like it seems to slow down, and so does everything else around you a little bit. And it does it kind of nips one of your fingers, but you don't feel it.
Okay.
And you, but you definitely know what the substance is at this point. And
Dope. Good catch.
I always crit. And you guys can make your way. You've got the evidence saying you left the money with her. And you've got Rose in the corner.
Sing to them for me, please. Blessings upon your family. Sing this for me.
Blessings upon your family. Now it's time for us to go.
We have to go somewhere?
Get out of here!
We must be away, yes, my friend.
We're going?
Can you just pick him up or something?
Are you okay?
He's not right.
Are
We're
you?
going.
No, but he always has the look. These like he's that is the way he looks. That
That's
is his
true.
face. Yes. Come. We must go.
Okay.
Go. So she just kind of like very listlessly follows you to the door, and you lag behind a little bit, like kind of slowly making your way, really observing everything that's in the way. And
Fingers are
then
very shiny.
and then as you make your way out, she just kind of looks at you and gives you like a closes the door.
Such a terrible place, this shore.
I check in my pockets.
You find everything you were looking for.
Oh, good.
I watch her check her pockets very intently.
Stop looking at me weird.
And we go back to you guys arriving back at what's up?
How easy would it be for me to put together, like scribble together another receipt There's a couple of copper pieces higher than it was before, so we can keep the saved money.
Oh, snap.
Give me a let's see. Your forgery stuff is at home.
Okay.
How
How big is that forgery kit usually? Is it like something that isn't movable or?
No, you could take it with you, because your disguise kit is really what you have that's out. That's like the tackle box that has like all the stuff out there. Your forgery kit, really all you need, I would say, is the appropriate type of paper. Which, if you wanted to do that, I would say that you're probably going to need to take the paper from her establishment,
Yeah.
as it's like a stationery.
Okay.
Would
Is
you
there,
like to
her
have
head and
tried to
stuff?
do that? Yeah. I'll say that when you were giving her the kiss on the cheek, she was not paying attention to her stationery at that moment.
Okay.
So if you would like to try to snag a piece, I will let you pull a sleight of hand for that.
Okay, I'll try that. Not great. 11.
11's enough.
Okay.
Because you had her distracted. You do have the piece, so now you'll need to make me a intelligence check with your proficiency for using the forgery kit, and it'll take you guys a little bit more time to get back. So yeah, go ahead. It's just gonna be you guys are gonna be cutting it a little closer to dark than you should have.
I did a crappy job.
Are you sure?
Is it single digits?
It is single digits. Yeah, I rolled real low. What is you said intelligence bonus?
It's so you're basically rolling it with intelligence, and you're adding your proficiency to it, which is a 2, and your intelligence, I believe, is a +3. So you have a +5 to add to that,
It's
which
a
looks like
+4 total. So it would be 4 + 3. So.
Oh, okay. What's your? Sorry, I have your stuff right here. I don't even need to ask you.
+2.
I got a bad roll.
Perhaps your hands
Yeah,
were
14
shaking
intelligence.
from this
You have 14.
interaction with the
Okay.
woman. Yes.
So you have okay. So now roll me a history check.
History.
Mhm.
All right. Wow. Rolling for beans. That would be 7.
Which is the same score that you got for the forgery.
Yeah.
You think it looks spot on?
Oh my goodness.
That's good, right?
What are you doing here?
Oh, are you comfortable with making a couple of extra coin?
I am.
Yeah.
As long as you cut me in on it.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, how much did we actually
Well, I
save?
see
Like
nothing.
3 copper pieces.
You tell me. I don't know what you wrote on the thing.
I would have put the normal price that she was going to charge us, not the discount.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it would have been like 1-4, like 1 and 4, and you ended up getting it for 9 after the kiss.
All right.
So it pads it by about 5.
Okay.
Okay. So as the sun is coming down, the streets are. You can see the mage rights going through, lighting the lamps as they move through the streets. You see that Harmatio, Rose, and Lossian are standing in front of Teason, giving him the report as you guys are walking back up, and we will come back to you because that took longer than it would for them to make it back. So Teason's sitting right. What's up? What'd you get?
Did you ever tell me about the because you knew it, but you didn't actually reveal to me or did you?
Or did you?
The poison.
What's going on here?
Oh, he was overdosed with Dream Lily.
Oh,
Although it seems to be quite a lot.
quite a lot of Dream Lily?
Yes.
Meaning,
I'm wondering how he took that much while he was in the middle of a crowded room and no one noticed.
well, he didn't have to take it right at the. I mean, he could have snuck into a bathroom, or gone into the alley, or.
Perhaps upon the roof, and he knocked a brick free while he was partaking?
I suppose that could make sense.
Could we look on the roof to see if there is anything? Has anyone investigated?
Nobody's gone up to the roof that I know of.
Didn't I hear Cad saw him fall?
Cats?
Cad?
Cad.
Didn't he see him fall?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, he fell off of a bar stool in the lounge near the stage. Not even from upstairs. So, I mean, I suppose he could have been on the roof at some point.
What?
I'm confused.
I am not familiar with this dream lily. What are the symptoms of this thing? What does it do?
So while you're talking to him, he's kind of like snapping his fingers in front of Lassian.
This is what is concerning me, yes.
So slow.
You didn't taste any of it, did you?
No, he's
And
just
he did
smelling
the
things.
smelling and the touching.
Lots of smelling.
Yes.
Can you take it like smelling?
Or through the blood, the child,
No.
the little bird child, they bit at him.
Or he touched the bag?
It's true, but the child, it nipped at his fingers. Perhaps
just
it
a
got into,
baby.
but it might have got into his blood. Here, give me hands.
Why
Here,
would the baby
show me
have a
your,
dream
no, let me
lily?
see your hands. I do. You let me take your hands.
Sure.
Is the like is the skin broken on his hands?
No.
There's lots of blood on it from the autopsy, though.
You're so weird.
I do not like the blood.
How does it he clean? There's a restroom right there.
I don't understand. He makes such a
Oh.
mess.
It doesn't come off very easy, see?
No.
Ooh.
So can you just smell the dream lily and then all of a sudden you are infused with dream lily?
Oh, I smelled it and
Typically, no.
no such thing. Perhaps we could leave him with you and we will investigate the roof until he's...
I don't want to go to the roof.
No, you, okay.
I'll go to the roof.
No, you should not go to the roof, my friend, no.
I mean, it's not. I mean, he doesn't seem too like you didn't sleep much last night or something, right?
A normal amount.
He's been acting weird
This
ever
is
since we went to the birds.
Weirder, he's always there these days.
Well, kenku can have that kind of effect on
There's
people
a
with
lot
all of
of-
that.
Repeating.
Yeah,
But why don't you go? You're so smart.
quite
You go.
exhausting.
Thank you, my dear. Yes, please.
I'll go.
Okay, come, but stay close. Do not go near the edge. If you fall, it is it, and no one will help you. Okay?
Of course.
Yes. Do we must go up the fire escape, or can we go through the club?
You do know we live in Sharn, right? There's lots of towers to fall off of, so you don't usually go near the edges.
Hold that thought, my friend. Can we go through the club, or must we go up the fire escape?
So the roof would be many stories up.
It's in the
It's that
upper
big of a club.
levels.
Is it?
It's the ground floor of a tower.
We would have to go to the upper levels to get to the roof.
You actually can't even see because of all like the skyway bridges and stuff like that, which like it's almost a maze. When you look up, think labyrinth.
I believe we are thinking we are in a city we are not in.
Right. On there, the architecture is much different.
Shorter.
Yeah, it's the buildings. They do not go to the place you cannot see with the eyes.
Yes.
So- most of the time, except for the ones that float. But yeah,
Yes.
Perhaps
Arcana.
we will check inside. Is Cad in yet?
yeah, I think so. He's probably in.
Perhaps we should check the chair he fell out of.
Yes, perhaps. One last thing. My friend, my construct friend with the face, where she has the two faces. She is lacking in identification, but we need to get her inside. She is.
Yeah,
very
Latch
vital.
gave her a good. She's okay to come. in.
Perfect. I think I see them coming.
Her
now.
name is-
Yeah,
Teason.
they're under contractor, protocol or whatever he's gonna put down.
Yes. I think I see them approaching. Actually.
Your accent is really strange.
You're really strange.
And that's what you guys hear as you walk up with you two carrying the sign, and you holding a receipt for the sign. You still have the money, and as you do, Teason taps a little button on the wall, and a couple of minutes later, Latch comes out. Yes, this will do.
Great. Well, here you go in the sign.
Thank you. He just lifts it right out of your hands very easily. And he goes, I will have the carpenter come and put it up for me.
Yes, the air in this place it is choking my friend back in the throat. With the yes.
Sorry. No, it's from an injury I sustained at the war.
When he says that, I told him like, injury.
Yes.
My friend here, Felix, he's the craftsman. Perhaps can you help him with the thing in the throat?
No.
No? Oh.
Haha, no.
I like the talking that you do.
He lifts it up and kind of like checks it and like measures the thing. He's like, oh, she made it bigger than the last one. It is quite heavy. I will call the carpenter, and he just palms it and puts it down on the side of the wall, leans it up
She was
against
a little
there.
preoccupied. Sorry if it's not the same measurements.
It is great. Bigger is usually better when it comes to a sign.
With everything, my friend, yeah.
We encouraged her to give a good deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was the deal you encouraged? I was hoping you might charm her into a better price.
I charmed her into a better quality.
It's like I motioned to him because we're keeping the money, so I'm like,
While they're doing that, I just kind of like nonchalantly lean over and just kind of smell.
Smell Latch? He smells like wood and metal.
Just taking it in. File that away.
Shellac oil.
You stopped talking in the middle of your...
Sorry.
Do you
I was
usually-
wondering what he was smelling.
Is
You
your-
were smelling.
Is
Yes.
your voice
Yeah,
up?
there's
Is
something
the damage too?
Some rank
No,
on
I'm
the straight
feeling
hair.
fine, thank you.
I
Is
think it's that brick. Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. It's very confusing. You're all very confused.
I say to the two of them in Elvish, I'm like, I do not know what they are trying to do, but let us observe.
Regardless, Latch, I wasn't able to lower the price, but I did make sure we got a little bit bigger of a product for you, and she's made it a little bit nicer. It should be a bit brighter.
You can see his eyes studying it. And he turns back to you, and the glow in the eyes just kind of like blinks a little bit.
Mhm.
Roll me a deception check.
I'm like, someone help him.
Yes.
That would be 21.
Nice.
We don't want to fight Latch.
Who knows what it is?
So, what was the deal you got?
Well, the receipt is here.
He takes the receipt from you. He looks it up and down, and she must. She must not be feeling well. Did she seem to have the shakes?
he might have given her the shakes.
Somebody needs some help?
Is that a thing that humans do to each other?
Yeah, something. I'll explain it to you later.
Who?
Okay.
We had a little bit of fun.
Jet
While
fine.
she was writing the receipt?
Why did it happen?
That is an interesting
I-
proposition. Ha 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 ha. I get it.
Yeah.
I appreciate your services.
It sounds like she appreciated his services as well. Yes,
He
yeah.
did.
Ew.
He takes the receipt and tucks it into his. He is actually wearing a vest, like a waistcoat kind of thing, which has this like big. It's built to fit a giant like a big warforged. One of the Phalanx class warforged. So he's like this huge one, and he's got this vest with this couple little pockets. And he takes the receipt, folds it, and puts it in there. And he goes, he goes, so we are squared then once you give me the change.
And I handed.
How much do you hand him?
I was not keeping track of the math. Four.
Anything you do in front of me is right now in front of him.
Okay.
Is it 9 crown?
He sees you staring at Felix.
I'm gonna be.
Do you
Am I
have
smiling?
the
I just-
change?
I just say, perhaps, what was the receipt? I did not get to see it. What was the amount on the receipt?
Were you holding it out towards him?
I
He pulls it back out and he says, it looks like it says 9 copper crowns.
Would it be 9 or
Yes,
would it be
9.
1 and 4? 1 silver, 4 was the price on the forgery.
Okay, so does it say 1 and 4 or 9? Which receipt did you hand him?
I handed him the, well, because of the shaky writing and things like that, I handed him the bad one.
Okay. So it does say like what 1-5, I think.
Yeah.
1-4.
So 1-4.
1-4.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it says 1-4, and he looks at that and he goes, "It. Do you have the change? Which one of you?
She is new.
This
to,
should not be so hard.
She is new to commerce insurance. That's
They
right.
use copper crowns everywhere.
Just give
What
him the
is
money.
the
Here.
problem?
Here you go. I'll pull out some.
Yes.
It's 6 change out of, isn't it?
Yes, it would be 6 if I gave you 2 sovereigns." He takes the coins and he goes,
They're very bad at math.
I don't understand this. It was
I
just
don't
a
know.
sign. That's
I
not
don't-
that difficult.
I
We
don't
were
think-
tracking dead poison birds and
Talk
the
to
children and
babies,
the pecking and the
sign to
singing
babies.
songs, and you cannot buy a sign.
I don't
He
think
starts-
we should let them do the.
Perhaps we should discuss it inside. Thank you, Latch. We would. Thank you. Can we go, please?
You may go home. It appears that you all need rest. Please, and then he pulls out a little pouch out of one of the other ones, and he drops you like 3 copper, and he goes, "Divide this. Let me help." And he pulls it out, and he just takes 1 coin and hands it to each of you, and he goes, he pulls out a 4th one, and he goes, "If you can fetch the carpenter to put it up, I will give you this one as well."
You're right.
You will do it?
Yeah, I'll go do that.
Great. Go get him for me.
Oh, but, oh, all right.
We too did many things in the city for the.
Oh no, that was with Teason.
Right, but I mean, all orders come from Latch, so
Well, I got a
So
job.
Teason is sitting there going like,
oh.
Um,
Perhaps we will discuss it later.
we were talking to Teason about
Guys,
dinner later.
All right, coffee.
I
"You're too slow to pick up on this right,
Right.
Damn it!
now." So Latch just turns around and goes, "It is very hard to get good."
I think
Help.
maybe the way the voice box is very confusing to some people.
Oh, Rose.
I'm fine,
You
but
delicate flower.
he was
She's
saying-
very delicate. Yes. Perhaps we should go prepare for your set tonight.
Oh, oh yeah.
Yes. We will return.
Okay.
Very good.
For the record, I'm with you. I don't even know I hang out with these people. I see that.
And then you turn around and walk off to go get the carpenter. Yeah, okay. And then,
Bye,
so as he's walking, as he goes up the landing to go back inside, he just kind of looks at you and he goes, "Hmm." And he turns and just continues to walk in now. And then Teason goes,
I don't know what's wrong with him.
What?
We're talking to Teason, not the big guy.
But the big guy is the one that gives the orders, unless you're telling me he is not, in which case you should have disclosed this to me in advance.
When I
Discretion.
said that it was for homicide, like all of the other things I send you on, why would you assume Latch is going to pay you? You just see money and get big copper circles in your eyes? What's going on
I
here?
think so.
Come on.
Perhaps then you would like to pay me then?
The reason I employ you is for your discretion.
Well, he didn't say anything, so it's fine.
I know, you're very sensitive. I understand. You did not get much sleep last night. I understand, my friend.
Yes.
I would like to keep working, but there is the unfortunate issue of the tab.
I have never not paid you.
That is quite true.
Well, let's tell him what we know.
I trust Teason.
We have told him the things. Is there something else you would like us to find for you now?
Oh, that's true.
Let me think about it. In the meantime, if you could write me up just a little something that gives me that information concisely, maybe after he.
I don't know.
How
what
long
to
does it
think.
take to wear off?
If
What?
it's. Did you actually take a dose
I think he just touched the bag.
what?
of Dream Lily?
No.
He
I
just
think
touched
he's
it.
been
It's on
there.
his
He's probably just tired. If you didn't really get to trance did you have a hard trance?
It was
That's
busy.
a very rude thing to say.
It was very busy.
Yeah, okay. We'll get some good trance in.
They need this so they get this strength. It's true.
Yeah, I mean all the stuff. So come back and talk to me later.
Okay.
I'll see if there's some other lead that comes up with the information you got me. And I'll have some money for you then, based on how good that information that you got me was.
That makes sense.
As usual.
As usual. Then we will do.
Do that. Okay.
You and I both speak Gnomish, right, Felix?
Yes.
We established speak. I say to you in Gnomish, I say, I have questions for you on the way home, my friend.
Sure.
Okay. Right, but I don't say anything else while we walk, just in case he speaks Gnomish also. So, you never know.
I kind of, I take Lossian by the arm and.
No.
Okay. I feel like maybe you need some help.
Oh,
Can I help you home?
I'll walk with you.
Okay. I'll just corral you then.
No?
You just walked before, okay? I'll make sure you don't slow down too much.
Oh.
You make me nervous.
So, you guys take a little detour a couple of times as you do notice a couple of gaggles of children on the way back, and you detour through some other halls, mostly because he's lingering a little.
I gotta
in
make
different
him go
places.
faster. Stop it, go. Stop it, go.
And you make your way back to the Wicket lawn, and after dropping him off, you guide him basically to now you now know which apartment is his, as you've guided him back, and you show up a little while later, 1 copper the better.
After being mugged.
Zaylin, you can stand in our place.
Especially because rent.
Yes.
Of course,
You can sit.
we cannot turn you into the street.
Offer her a chair.
But I felt she did not want one.
Maybe
would
you didn't
like
ask,
to
you don't
sit?
know.
Would you like a chair?
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll
please.
try a chair.
Any chair in the place, even my chair, if you wish.
Oh
That
no, I
is your
couldn't.
chair.
Well, okay.
You're
I picked it for you.
Okay, perhaps a different chair.
There's 2 other chairs you
Yes.
could take.
Yes, please.
sure. Yeah, I will try a chair. Thank you.
Enjoy. Yes, luxuriate.
And you make your way back, and you everybody but you knows what rent is, and you know that it's due in a couple of days
How much?
for your rent.
How much is the rent?
It's based on your apartment.
I don't know. It's not.
Well, you have the biggest apartment of the lot, so
Oh, we got a nook. Got
Yeah,
the
you
fancy
do.
one.
Do you mind if
Go on.
I talk to Zaylin for a second? So, a couple of things. One, we need to settle up now. The money.
Oh,
Yeah, you've still got the change.
sure.
Yeah.
I guess.
So,
Am I real for this?
nope.
Okay.
yeah, we need to settle up and get some to Grizz and everything like that. So, do you want to give me the change and I can give you your share? Because I paid out of pocket for the.
Oh,
amount.
that's right. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure. Here, and I hand
Great.
him the.
Take that and then give you. Grizz isn't here. You get 2. I'm keeping 2. We'll give this one to the Grizz.
All right, my friend. Pleasure doing business with you.
The other thing, I really noticed something rather curious.
Oh yeah. What's that?
Some of this going on bears a striking similarity to Lavenza, the rather attractive daughter in the sign shop.
You mean my face? Looks like.
A lot like.
Okay.
Just an observation.
Are you saying I'm pretty?
Sure. Yes. I was just wondering why you were particularly choosing her as an influence for the transition that you were following.
Same as the reason why you guys noticed her. She's pretty.
That's fair.
I do go by she
Sure.
and her.
Last thing, if you need any maintenance or repairs,
Oh, it's so great because I don't know. So, I don't know what I would do at this point.
You definitely know how to do your own maintenance. you definitely know how to do your own maintenance.
Really?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say maybe the skin
Most of
grafts
it?
would make it
This-
hard.
That's what I thought. Okay, no.
But I would also assume that you would probably just roll it back very gently and then do your maintenance. and
Okay,
then
I thought
roll
he
it
was
Not the
back.
talking-
same
I
when
thought he
you
was
do
talking
your own
about-
maintenance to someone else doing your maintenance.
Hey, no, I figure if he's flirting, that's fine. I'm just making sure that Zaylin is aware that
Okay.
Zaylin does.
I thought it was the skin part, not the.
Well, that wouldn't be him.
That wouldn't. Okay.
That would be the other guy.
Like we're in the hallway, like
I'm assuming that you guys went.
yeah.
Whatever you think about it from your door is another thing. Okay, great. So then you go see the guy. You come back and head back to your room and start stitching Punchy back together. And that's where we're gonna end for tonight. You're all still alive,
Yay.
despite questionable choices.
Some more questionable than others.
Thanks, guys, for coming in and hanging out. If you missed the codes earlier, I'm going to post them both back up in chat here in a second. Thank you so much to all of you that subscribed. I know a lot of the Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime memberships lapsed. Don't forget to re-back up. And if you aren't, but you'd like to be, go ahead and do that. Also, don't miss Sirens of the Realms, which is on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. on D&D, and we host it here. Also, the Discord that's spamming in there. That's a great place for you guys to hang out during the week. That's where we go for some maze plays and hang out and chat, and also where we do some things with our Patreon people, which, if you have an idea of something you might like, I did a build for some of the NPC contacts that the characters have in their portfolios. And I did that with you guys, and if you guys would like to do something else like that soon, just let me know, because I probably will have to get around to doing some more expansive stuff like that soon, and if you'd like to see what the process is like, just let us know. Beyond that, thank you so much, Dungeons & Dragons and Keith Baker, for this incredible setting that allows us to do some very interesting things in a very interesting place. And thank you to Black Magic for allowing us to do some very interesting things in a very interesting space. And my awesome players who are still alive for buying in. And, you know, the risks are what make rewards sweet for everybody. And I hope you enjoyed tonight. Also, if you haven't had a chance to check these out, we have dice rollers that didn't get used that much tonight, but that's also because we're not quite rolling as much. All from Cognitive Merchant. They are pretty dope. They also make incredible satchels. I believe I will be sporting one of those in Europe. That actually fits my laptop. Yeah, I said the S word.
There's runes on the inside.
Yeah.
And an eye.
He's got dragon
Yours
marks
has the eye.
in there, and
Yeah.
you have an eye and some runes in there. Different ones have different things. No, yours has skulls all over them.
Mine,
Kyle.
yeah.
Skulls.
Come on.
Skulls. Scully spikes.
So with that, go ahead and let us know. I think that there's some people in the channel that are doing like MVP NPC and MVPC for things. So if there was a great moment that stood out to you, go ahead and clip it, put it up on the channel, but also let everybody in the channel know. Or I think somebody said they were going to put it up on Reddit or something like that. So make sure you go check out the Maze Arcana Reddit. And if you agree or disagree or what have you, that's a good place. I do go on there and I do read a lot of comments, and sometimes I even respond, depending on what else we have going on.
I stalk that channel once in a while.
Yeah.
We need a Kai blushing
You
subreddit.
Yeah.
We need a Kai blushing subreddit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blush this time. I'm trying
Fight it.
really, really
Fight
hard.
it. You're
to not
failing.
blush.
You are failing. It's
So I guess we
happening.
know what Kai's emoji's gonna be.
Oh God. Yeah.
Ah.
No.
Speaking of which,
The Kai
you
emoji
guys.
just glows red.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you guys got us up to I think the next threshold of emojis with this
Emotes.
most of emotes. Yeah. With this most recent couple of subs that came in during the channel or during the show. So we're going to go ahead and have a chat with our emoji people. So we'll go ahead and get in touch with our person that does extra artwork for Twitch and get that squared away. Anything else anybody's got?
Yes, one more thing.
Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you so much to everybody for responding to our Twitter question, which said, what would be your favorite drinks that would be served at the Old Dominion? And we had
Very
so
nice.
much fun reading all of your responses. So keep the conversation going and follow us on Inkwell Society on Twitter and all the things. And thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
The
Yeah.
Instagram, the Instagram handle's
It's
different.
Inkwell
Yeah,
Society
Instagram
Show.
is Inkwell Society Show. Twitter is Inkwell Society.
If you want maybe to see your drink concoction or any fan art that you do or anything like that, if you'd like to see that either used during the show or during our break, go ahead and let us know by sending that in to mazearcana@gmail.com or by hashtagging IWS. And we'll go ahead and grab that. And that is basically just you letting us know that it is all right for us to take that and use that, and you're not going to like sue us or something ridiculous for it.
Digital consent.
Right. The last thing that I'll add on top of that is that Kyle over here is putting together a wiki to go up on the Maze Arcana website. So we'll let you know when that does go up, and you can start adding your own thoughts there. Anybody else have anything else before we let them go? Great. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much again for coming and hanging out with us and tracking through this story. You don't want to miss next week. I'll leave it at that.
Oh,
Yeah, we're totally gonna die. Great, cool.
Have a wonderful evening. We will see you Tuesday for Maze Plays, for Sirens of the Realms on twitch.tv/DND, and right back here next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Have a very noir